All right, and welcome back to another episode of the Otter Players Podcast, episode 48, where we now know about the upcoming Xbox Developers Direct, many leaks about the Switch 2, gamers still feeling the woes of not enough AAA, or at least not the ones they want, and Game Pass losing up to 80% on premium sales. Can't say we didn't tell you so. But we'll go ahead and jump right into it. Weeb, how are you, man?
But
And
we
what have you been
will.
playing?
Yeah, I'm good. I've been playing Space Marine 2.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
almost
nice.
done on the last mission. So maybe even finish it tonight while we're doing the podcast. Who knows? But yeah, I'm enjoying it. But it's not going to be my game of the year or the game of the last year. I think the I do realize that this is a game for for Warhammer fans, right? Like if you're the game doesn't hold hands in terms of okay, it's going to explain. Give you the cliff notes, of oh, this is the universe, this is why. Like, there's a lot of lore there that they don't explain, and that you're just supposed to know. And I say
I
that
agree.
that's fine, Um, but yeah, it does run the risk that if you're not into this and you just hop into it because you want to play a fun game and you're not invested in this, but you do want to sort of try to get into it, this is not the game for it. That it's not gonna uh, yeah, so it's not gonna hold your hand here. So you're expected to either know or to do your own research. Um, but yeah, it's fine. Gameplay is fun. It is relatively short, though there's some co-op and some multiplayer. I do wish the game didn't have you all being always online, even for a single player part. It's kind of annoying. Load times are sometimes a bit long. I notice between sections, like it's literally loading. Like, you don't even try to hide it. Um, and yeah, it is a bit repetitive. It is like you're doing the exact same thing in every mission. Like the level design is pretty nice, and I still like the sort of the Starship Troopers vibe when you see like swarms of enemies like coming from you from the background, and then they're just piling up on each other to get to you. That's pretty cool. And it's pretty impressive that it's still impressive every time you see it. But yeah, overall, it's an enjoyable experience. But yeah, I mean, I don't think this has turned me into a fan of the Warhammer 40K universe. Just saying. So anybody
Understandable.
listening to this and starts putting a hit out of me, yeah, sorry guys, it just isn't for me, I guess. So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Okay. That's what's up. Yeah, that one kind of sucks up your time, but yeah, I agree with you that you kind of sound like me playing this game, uh, where I was just like, man, this is cool and stuff, but dang, like, can I get a skill tree or something? So I can
Yeah,
at least be a little different. Like it's just like chainsawing somebody for the 50th time with the sword is okay, I guess. Like it's pretty, it's very dude bro-ish. Like I get that. And they definitely do a very bad job explaining the lore. Thankfully, I've had some previous experience with Warhammer, but yeah, they do not really explain any of that really well. I guess some of the variety they saved for the multiplayer, the co-op operations, which I hate when games do that. Like, don't
hmm
let me only experience the variety in your game or the customization in your game via
yeah,
the multiplayer. Like,
I
exactly. Like
remember what?
I had that too when you like you have in your sort of your hub area, you have like something of an armor, and you think, oh, this is where I can customize my character, and it's just like, yeah, you can just change your starting loadout, which doesn't really matter much because you can pick those weapons up anyway. And like,
Yep.
yeah, okay, like I was like you like say, oh, this is where I can just upgrade my skills and stuff. And no, it's just every mission is the same. You start with the same loadout. Yeah, at some point you get a jetpack which you can use for a certain amount of time, and then it suddenly stops working, and then you have to yeah, do the same thing again. Yeah, that's a bit of a letdown. Like I was expecting a bit more variety from like that first. The prologue was excellent. Like, but then it's just, yeah, like you said, you're thrown into that. You don't really explain much. There's not much in terms of exposition. Like you can sort of guess some things, like purely based on experience with with games with sci-fi. But there's a lot of things where they just throw around terms and organization and something, and you're like, okay, cool, and you pick up some audio logs along the way, but they don't really tell you anything. So it yeah, it it is what it is. I can respect it in the sense that this, if you're expliciting this is for the Warhammer fans, and we're not gonna waste time explaining the lore because the Warhammer fans know this by heart, and
Yeah.
we don't want to insult them, their intelligence by having that shoot out for them. But yeah, I mean, you always have to make sort of that choice between what's my audience? Is it just the fans, or do we want to get new people new to into this? And then you kind of you have to go a bit further. You at least drop notes or something. Like compared to Dragon Age, like Dragon Age has a lot of lore, and while they don't bother in game to explain everything to you, you have like this compendium, and there is like general Mass Effect lore, like that's just in there. You don't even have to pick up. That just gives an explanation of everything that happened before, and all the terminology, and you don't have to read it, but if you want to, it's there, you can read it. And if this is your first Mass Effect game, or your first Dragon Age game, like you can you can just read up on it, and maybe decide, okay, I'm interested in it. I might go back and play the earlier games, or you know go on the internet and look for more information. But you at least get the basics, like that you need to know, like that would have been, I think, just like not a lot of effort to just put that in there, like pause menu, just have a
Yeah.
compendium. Yeah, okay, these are the basic terms, these are the organizations, there's key plays, that's what you need to know. um, if you don't want to read it, don't care, fine, you don't have to read it. That's all you had to do.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they definitely kind of leave you out there hanging, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you should really respect these guys because they're the priestess of on high," and you're like, "Okay, who are they and what do they do?" You know. So yeah, no,
Yep.
I definitely get that. But yeah, no, that's what's up. It definitely takes up your
Yep.
time. You're doing it the right way, playing
Mm.
it through, fully getting it done. Because I only played about 4 or 5 hours of it, and we haven't been back to finish it yet. So it's best to finish it in one go like that. Um,
Yeah, I think
absolutely,
I'm do that and done, and yeah, I'm not gonna bother the co-op or the multiplayer. I have enough to play this year.
same. Morgan, how are you, ma'am? And what have you been playing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So I've been playing obsessively Dave the Diver. I'm
Nice.
almost done. Really enjoying it. You know, when I find like an indie that I'm really into, I kind of just just plunge myself, head first into it. So I'm like, leveling up my restaurant, leveling up my leveling up Dave, leveling up everything. It's just taking up a lot of my time. And I've been playing it mostly on the portal. Like I don't even think I've turned my PlayStation on in like a week. I've just been, well, I guess it technically turns on when you play on the portal, but I mean, as far as me playing via the PlayStation, I've and it's so funny because I'll play on my portal in the living room where my PlayStation is. I don't know, I just sit on the couch and like lay on the couch and play my Portal when I could just turn over and turn, the TV on and play my PlayStation. But I don't know, this Portal spoils me. I love it so much. But yeah, Dave the Diver has been excellent. Yeah, I'm right near the end. Like I'm almost done. I think I'm like a few trophies away from the plat, so I probably ended
Nice.
up platting it before the show's over.
Are you gonna go for the DLC? Because it
I
got
mean,
quite
I
a few
mean, I
DLCs.
don't really know when it's gonna come out, so
Oh, it's already out. There is one about Dredge, and there is one about
Yeah,
I
but
thought
she
you were
meant is
referring
the
to the one that
actual
just got it,
DLC, not
the one that just
crossovers.
got announced. Yeah, that's crossover stuff. That's not really, deal. I don't really consider that DLC.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought
the
that.
DLC is the jungle. That's the first real DLC.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
and that has no release date yet. So, um,
Okay.
yeah, like the crossover stuff is like, because they had a crossover with Bellatra too. It's more like me. It's not really
Oh,
things I
Balatro.
consider
I know they have
DLCs.
one with Godzilla.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, it'll just depend on when it comes out because
Mm-hmm.
2025 is back, so I don't know. But I'm really enjoying it. Love it. I guess this is my first game of part of my New Year's resolution of beating at least 50 indies. I guess this will be like the first one on that list that I can cross off. But it was good. So it's a great way to start 2025. So this will probably be my first plat of 2025. So I'm happy about it. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Respect to that, because the plat is grindy as fuck.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely have to grind. But thankfully it has like a fast forward through the day. So, and I got like, I've basically like leveled up everything. I've got the fish farm all leveled up, the farm all leveled up, my restaurant all leveled up, and the branch leveled up. So it's like, it's essentially just making money for me. I really don't even have to dive like that. Um,
Yeah,
but
at the end, that's how it is.
yeah,
What
so
surprised me was the boss fight. Great boss battles, in my opinion. I did not expect that in the
yeah, they're
game.
pretty good. They're pretty good. Um, but yeah, I like that, the crossover of a, restaurant sim with the little bit of action of you actually going out and getting the food that you're cooking in the sim. Because, a lot of times when you're doing like restaurant sims, you're just doing the restaurant part. So I like the fact that it's, the restaurant sim with a little bit of action of you like actually going out and getting the food that you'll be serving. So there's a lot going on. Like it felt like a lot, especially at the beginning, because there was just so many different people being introduced and different events that you had to do. Like, okay, do this. I need you to go die for this, or I need you to go get this and this. And I'm like, oh my god, this is everybody wants something. But after a week or two in the game, it gets you kind of get the gist of it and how to organize your time and correctly and prioritize different missions and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely recommend Dave the Diver if you're looking for like an indie to get into. Really fun. It's one that you can play a long time and do a lot of things, or you can just kind of beeline through it if that's your prerogative. But yeah, Dave the Diver, highly recommend. And I got introduced to a a new artist in the game. I didn't realize like one of the songs that were in the game, there's a artist that comes to the restaurant that you help out or something, and then she performs at the restaurant on the weekends or whatever. And I was like, dang, this song is actually really good. And so I was like, let me look on the Dave the Diver soundtrack to see if it's on there. And then it turns out it was like I thought it was just like a song made for the game, but it was actually like a real artist in her real song. And I was like, oh shit. So I found so I got an artist out of it too, and I'm listening to her music and it's really good. But yeah, shout out to Dave the Diver. And also, fuck Dave the Diver because they introduced me to Balatro and it's actually really fun and I get it. And I'm just like, oh damn. If it's like what it is in Dave the Diver, then I understand why people are addicted to it, because while I was doing that mini game, I was like I was deep into I was getting really competitive because you have to play with like the characters in the game, like you playing against them, and I was getting really competitive, and I was getting really upset when I was losing. So, if Balatro is like that, I understand, and oh my god, I feel so sorry for people who are in that game and are currently addicted to it because I get it. But yeah, Dave the Diver so far strong 9 out of 10 for me, and obviously it'll be that way because I'm almost at the end. So yeah, it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Okay, that's what's up. Everybody, look at everybody being responsible, one game at a time gamers. I see y'all trying to
Oh
be
man,
different in
it won't last.
2025.
At least for me, it won't last.
That's it. Yeah, well, I was about to say we ain't really got started yet. This is just
We're still playing old games from last year or a few years ago.
yeah, it's a little fluke. But yeah, no, that again, playing another good game from the prior years. Dave the Diver, like they said in the chat, is a gem. A lot of people really loved it. Beloved indie that did crazy numbers on PC and eventually brought it to consoles, rightfully so, because the game is really good. Um, Omar, how are you, man? What have you been playing?
So, last week we left off where I was gonna watch Cowboy Bebop, which I started, and play Metal Gear, which today I started. Mostly because I had to finish Gonna Dark, and I am so glad I played this on the PS5 and not PSP.
Or I
With
want to ask, are you still watching Power Rangers?
what?
Or I want to ask, are you still watching that Power Rangers TV show?
Give me a second, my battery ran off.
Of course it did.
Ran
Of
away.
course it did.
Oh
Right,
man,
right,
oh man.
Go ahead and I talk, and I will get you when I'm
right when that man was
with my
catching the
battery.
smoke. But yeah, in that case, because I don't know how long it's gonna take him to change that battery, so I'll say what I'm playing instead. So obviously, like I said, I stated before that I had completed my first game completion of 2025 was RoboCop. Got the platinum, and then honestly, I've moved on to a bunch of different games. I've been all over the place, but the game I've probably been playing the most is SD Gundam Battle Alliance. The deluxe edition for it finally went on sale because I refuse not to have everything when I play a game. So that game's been a lot of fun. I'm making my way through it. Honestly, I'll probably beat it pretty soon unless like there's some sort of twist. The game just doesn't seem like it's that long. I know there's some other harder missions and some other things to do, but it looks like it probably won't take me too long. So probably another game beat not too long from now in 2022. I don't know if I'll go for the platinum. I might. I know somebody who does have it, and it didn't seem like it took too much. So it might be 2 games complete, 2 platinums. Um, I'm also finishing up the battle pass for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which is a first for me because ever since they've had battle passes, I've hated Call of Duty, and this one still kind of annoys me, but it's like the least of the annoyance. But yeah, I'm definitely taking a heavy break off of Call of Duty multiplayer once I finish getting this last weapon I want out of it. But I will definitely hunker down on the single player because I have started that, and the single player is pretty cool. I did start on the hardest difficulty, which I usually don't mind playing single player COD on the hardest difficulty, but the way the campaign is structured, if you guys have played it, it opens up a lot, and then there's a bunch of like quest type missions and stuff. And honestly, I just don't have the time to sit here and get one shot every time I miss like one sniper in a corner, hanging off a cliff, hiding in a bush. Like I don't have the time, so I'm just gonna play on normal, and probably run through that, and that'll probably be my third game complete. The other game I've been playing pretty heavy, mainly just because I know I played it, but I don't remember beating any of them. Is Wolfenstein: The New Order. Um, the games have always been really good.
Man's been playing greatness.
That's what the trophy for. Cause I had the same experience with Mafia 2. I had no idea I played it, but I already beat it, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I knew I didn't. I know I didn't beat it. But I've played them a lot, and then I've also played them on PC at one point. So that's the other issue.
Mm.
And then I definitely do not remember this part that I'm at. So I got to a certain point, and I also apparently made a different choice because I got a trophy for it early on that I never got before. So yeah, I definitely know I didn't get completely through it, and I want to kind of experience the story in one big go. Obviously, besides the last one they released, because apparently the Young Blood or whatever that was terrible. I can't remember what it was called, but it was the one with the two girls. But yeah, I definitely do not plan to play that. Um, but yeah, those are the main things. But I've been playing a ton
It
more stuff.
wasn't that bad. Youngblood wasn't that bad.
I mean, I'm skipping it for time's sake. If it ain't good enough,
No,
yeah, if it ain't good enough, like, because also it seems like it was just like more story to it, but like the game seemed like it was kind of done with the other three games, so I'm good with it. I'm good with
it
those mainly
it
because like I always know like a trilogy always seems to be great, and every time they push a trilogy, it's always the one outside of the trilogy that like does something that kind of goes awry. But yeah, I
okay,
mean,
okay,
I feel
but
you.
but but don't skip the old blood because that one is really good.
No, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm playing all the rest of them, just not that one.
All right.
So I'm playing the new order, and then I think the old blood is next or something like that. I had to double check the order, but yeah. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely not
old
gonna
blood is
skip it.
technically a prequel. It's like actually classic Wolfenstein, but with the new the new setting.
Gotcha. I'm all over it. Yeah, and then I went back to World of Final Fantasy, which I own on like 5 platforms, ironically.
Yes, that
Um,
one. I'm stuck at one to the final, close to the final level boss fight. It's difficult.
Yeah, I just my problem is I spent so much time playing it before and then randomly stopped. Plus, I added the Maxima DLC or whatever it's called, which
Yeah,
changes the game to some degree. So I have no idea what the heck I'm doing, and I'm probably gonna have to restart it, which I think I'm just gonna have to accept, which is fine because I really enjoyed the game. It's something Morgan would probably like because it's like chibi characters and stuff. It's like cute Final Fantasy, but like it's really
You don't know
deep
me.
though. Yeah.
it is super cute, but it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. Like they're cute, but they'll definitely beat you up. They don't be playing in that
Yeah.
game. But yeah, that's mainly it. I've been considering Path of Exile too, um, mainly because I had a gift card for Steam, but I was like, I don't know, because I was like, I don't really know if I'm gonna commit to it like that. Um, it just save it for Killing Floor 3 whenever I can finally pre-order that. So uh, we will see. But yeah, Omar, you can finish what you were. I don't know if you remember where you were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Warawana asked if you played or if you're still watching Power Rangers.
I'm back. No, I dropped it for Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we didn't. I mean, we didn't know
The
if you
only
were still
correct answer.
committed to
Okay.
that. Yeah.
But after Bebop, I'm still gonna pick it up because I do want to finish it.
Oh, there he goes. There's the Omar we know.
Stick
I'm
to
not.
that trash no matter
I'm
what.
not. I'm not gonna drop something just because other people don't love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we know. We know.
What
If I
else? What
enjoy
else have you
something,
been
I'm
playing?
gonna. So yeah. I finished Gonna Dark, and I'm so glad I played this on PS5. The rewind feature, without it, I don't think I would have continued playing this game.
Okay,
It,
so you enjoyed it.
because of the rewind feature, yeah, I did. Story is great. Like, let's not get it twisted. I enjoy the story heavily. I really wish it had got voice not voice acting, subtitles. Cause for me, genre talks so low that it's hardly ever hearable. So I stopped just watching cutting on mute because I'm not gonna hear anything either way. Um, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the gameplay mechanic. The different characters that you play with, they all have their own personalities. The story was uh, were created, and I had a blast with it. It's just the same thing I have an issue with when it comes to Returnal. It's RNG. When your game is that heavy invested in RNG, it kills the enjoyment because you're then that much dependent on the RNG. Which again, I can't stress it enough. Shout out to the rewind feature and the quick save and quick load feature. Otherwise, I would have dropped it long time ago.
Oh,
Um,
it sounds like you
other
played it when
than
you should have then.
yeah, other than that, I started Metal Gear Solid, the first one, and I just figured not figured out. I just found a way to beat Psycho Mantis. I literally had him at one. I think two health bar, two hits, and I died. Which I was okay with because I knew I waited too many health bars beforehand. But yeah, story is interesting. I'm enjoying it. The only thing that I have an issue with is just me not knowing how to do it well. It's choking enemies, especially in silent mode. For some way, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Other than that, everything works. I do wish they found a way to put the pause button different because right now, so far from what I experienced, the only way to pause to get an actual pause game, pause that make you reset the game or quit the game is by literally pressing the record button and then back and then circle, and then it pauses like a legit menu pause. I'm like, that's a weird way to implement it.
Yeah,
Other than
it
that, I'm
sounds a little
having
excessive.
other than that, I'm having a blast with it. And one thing surprised me. I had no idea it was so boss heavy, and I'm having fun with it. And if I remember correctly, this is a three game or maybe 3 or 4 CDs worth of game. So I'm genuinely curious where is the cutoff for the first game, uh, for the first CD, and I'm also curious if it's gonna continue to be so boss heavy. If that's the case, I'm all for it. Cause boss fight feels way more like a puzzle than actual boss fight, if that makes sense. Cause all of them you have a disadvantage. And I love how you can cheat it by literally asking your friend what you need to do and they help you. Also, the game absolutely rewards you for exploring. Because in one area, there is literally mines, and I wouldn't have been able to cross without literally exploring, going out of my way and explore, and finding a mine detector. And there are a lot of moments like that in the game. But yeah, I'm rambling. As this is Metal Gear, I'm pretty sure most people beat it inside out many times. So let's move on.
No, it's all good. No, again, playing good games, watching good stuff. That's the plan. That's what we should be doing going into 2025. Um, but yeah,
They grow up so fast.
right.
So proud of our little Omar when he's playing
Oh,
I
greatness.
don't get it. I'm not allowed to enjoy my own thing, apparently.
No, but we want you to enjoy the great things.
yeah, Omar.
But
We only want the best for you.
Y'all
I
crazy.
give up.
But jumping into our first topic, uh, Xbox recently announced the Xbox Developer Direct. A couple different games they have on the docket, but the big one everybody's trying to figure out and trying to talk about is, of course, they have to they kind of did the one more thing before the show, which is there's a mystery game. So everyone's trying to figure out what that game is. They kind of gave us the rundown on the other games that's going to be showing up. Obviously, we have the new Doom. Compulsion Games is going to be there with South of Midnight, which I think looks really, really good. Sandfall Interactive with, my favorite game that's going to be there, essentially, which is Expedition 33, which looks absolutely amazing. I'm sure there are probably going to be a few other things, but like I said, the big mystery is that one. I'm interested to see what they're going to show exactly, because I think we've seen quite a bit of South of Midnight that Compulsion's been kind of drip feeding quite a bit of gameplay, which is again why I think it looks really good so far. I'm interested to see if kind of Doom switches it up at all when we do kind of see what we're gonna see. I know somebody was saying while they liked Eternal, the platforming kind of threw them off, and that's what kind of made them drop Eternal. So while they were enjoying the
Oh,
shooting,
fuck you! If you dropped Eternal, you suck.
hey, apparently they did. I don't know. I know the one thing I seem to find consistent with Doom though, that a lot of people, people don't just really say it, right? But when they got to talking about it, it seems quite a few people actually stopped playing the games, whether it's Eternal or 2016, mainly just because they got lost, and they couldn't find like a key card or some other stuff, and that was
Oh,
something that threw me
how?
off before as well. So I was like, I don't know.
How?
Um,
Look. If you, I don't really know how, because I didn't that didn't really happen to me, but I can get, like, I didn't like 2016 that much, because 2016 was a more of a, the performance wasn't great on PlayStation because it had really long load times, and the game was basically just, you had a kill room, and after kill room, and it went on for too long. And
yeah,
Eternal really worked for me because it had amazing pacing. Like, you were encouraged to just keep moving, and it was just perfectly paced. Like, you constantly had. I like, yeah. Okay, there were some platforming things where, that sort of in between sections that were, I can get maybe a bit tedious, but like, when you're in an arena, like, and you had just this momentum where you could just, pull yourself up, like, get on top, and get some ammo, and just you get waves after wave of enemies, and just exploit their weakness, and use your weapons to maximum effect. Like, and even if you die, it doesn't matter. Like, you can get back quickly before the you enter the room, and just try again. And I mean, it clicked with me. Like, 2016 didn't click with me. Like, I found it a drag, but Eternal was absolutely fantastic. It's definitely up there as one of the greatest shooters ever made.
okay, yeah. I haven't gotten through it that much, mainly just, but I mean it makes sense for me because I didn't really enjoy 2016 that much. It very much was what you said, like kill a room, go to the next thing. And then I got to a point where I was looking for like a blue key card, and it was in like the most obscure place. I think it was actually glitched because it was like underneath like a guard laying on the floor that I had been killed or
Yeah,
something.
that's possible.
Yeah.
And
So
had really annoying exposition where they just explain a story through holograms. Like, that's the most annoying gameplay design ever. Like, either give me a story or don't, but don't have fucking holograms explained to me, which I can barely follow. You can't focus on, and then even have the nerve to lock you into a room where you have to listen to boring exposition instead of, okay, like, either like make this optional, just let me go continue onward, or, have a cutscene, but not this kind of bullshit.
yeah, no, I get that. Uh, so in your case, is there anything out of the ones that we know that you're looking forward to seeing more of? I'm guessing starting with Doom. And then what do you hope the mystery game is, whether it's announced or unannounced?
You asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, let me take a shot of whiskey first. Yeah. Well, Doom: The Dark Ages definitely has my interest, though. I'm a bit cautious because of the way they fucked over Mick Gordon, and there's no fucking way he's gonna return for the soundtrack, and
I
that
did
kind
hear
of
about that.
made those games. Yeah, like oh man, you should look this up. Like they really fucked him over. Like they don't deserve him. And the only thing I hope is that at least Machine Game still has a good relationship with him, and he returns for the next Wolfenstein because he did the soundtrack for those games too.
Hmm.
But man, like that soundtrack was amazing. And that especially with Eternal, where it clicked with me, like that just like it was part of the gameplay. Like the point where it just you were just everything came together and you're just feeling it. Like, and then I played the DLC where he clearly wasn't involved and he had someone clearly very less talented in doing music, and it was so generic. It was so like, yeah, I mean the gameplay was okay, but like it was nothing compared to the main game. So I'm kind of like I like the concept, I like the direction they went to, but I just wonder if they can get to the same heights. And I have very sincere doubts that they're gonna make it. Like I'm gonna give it a chance, and I'm gonna like it's gonna be in Game Pass anyway, so I don't care. But like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if this is if Doom is ever gonna get back to those heights now when they have Mick Gordon involved. So, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
was gonna ask you if you were gonna try it on Game Pass first, kind of see if it, it's still the Doom you remember.
yeah, I think so. I mean, based on that DLC, like that wasn't worth purchasing. Like
Hmm.
I if that's the level it's gonna be, then yeah, no. And
Yeah.
the thing is like what I've seen, like the way the hype that was around Eternal, like when it was first revealed, like that was immaculate. That was amazing. And here it's like, yeah, it's cool, what we're seeing and the direction they're going, but like it didn't blow me away in that same way. Like it's like they have to sort of try to up the ante by showing you cool stuff, right? Like I think there was like a dragon or something, but not like building this up like that's the thing already. You already see that they're missing Mick Gordon because they could have they just showed you basically nothing, just scenery, right? And they were just teasing it like you were even immediately sure this was Doom, but you could feel it in your bones because of the music of Mick Gordon, like how he was building this up, like it was insane. Like, and again, like people went wild, and in the end, the only thing you really saw is just eventually just Doomguard, Doomslayer, whatever it's called these days, and there wasn't really any gameplay at that point, but like and here they have like again gameplay is the most important thing of course, so and they showed that, so that looks good, but I'm not seeing the same level of hype in the way that they did with with having the talent of Mick aboard. And yeah, I'm concerned here that it is going to be a lesser experience, like they relied so much on that yeah, can they make a game that's fun to play, and can they at the very least compensate to a certain degree. Like they can never replace him because that man's a genius, but that it at the very least feels similar, and that it maybe compensate with different gameplay or enhance that to somehow still make it a fun experience. Like I'd say, like it's not gonna probably not gonna be bad, but yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna be more like the DLC, which yeah, it's okay, but like Game Pass okay. I'm not sure I'm gonna put any money towards that if that's when it comes to PlayStation. If if it's somewhat similar to that, like if it's not going to hit the heights of Eternal, then yeah, it's probably going to play it, but not going to own it as it were.
Okay, understandable. Any of the other announced ones you're looking forward to, or what about
Yeah,
your mystery?
no. Like you guys, South Midnight looks really good, and Claire Obscure, whatever it's called.
The name is
Like
really
again,
long. That's why I just say Expedition 33.
yeah, Expedition 30. Yeah, let's call it that. But yeah, I mean, again, like you guys, I'm hyped for that as well. Great get, for getting on the showcase. What there were the three, right? Or was there anything else that they had?
The you had that one, and then I had it
It
pulled up.
was, yeah. So far, it's just Doom, South of Midnight, Expedition 33, and then a mystery game.
Yeah. So, what are you hoping will be the mystery
Did
game?
they have they? Is it first party, third party? No idea.
They
So,
said if
yeah. Go
Aaron
ahead.
Greenberg. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Eddie. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You got it. You got it.
Aaron Greenberg kind of reiterated, like somebody was asking him what exactly it is, and he was saying it's a new unannounced IP. So I'm guessing it's not. Some people, assumed it was going to be Fable, and obviously that's already been announced. So I guess it's a new game. People are thinking it might be the Obsidian remake or remaster. But yeah.
But yeah, but that doesn't sound like a new IP. It's a
Yeah.
remake and that's sort of thing.
Or let me not say new IP. I think he said unannounced game.
Unannounced. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's been speculating the remake of Oblivion or something, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't know. Like the thing is with Microsoft, I'm not, a biggest fan of them, even with all they bought. Like, if it's not gonna happen, but like if you want to make me happy, Wolfenstein 3, StarCraft 3, show me that, and I'm
Okay.
happy. But it's yeah, we know it's not gonna like it's too soon. I think for Wolfenstein now, we're right off the machine game still riding the success of Indiana Jones, and they're gonna keep supporting that. And plus, like it doesn't make a lot of sense with Doom being there that they have their other marquee shooter also taking center stage at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're ever gonna see that StarCraft, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean that's what I would want. Like for the rest, I don't particularly care. They don't have that many interesting IPs. I mean, look, knowing Microsoft, they're just gonna say, "Oh yeah, you know what's this? Like, it's another Forza." That's probably the more likely scenario than anything really exciting. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
I mean, maybe they'll surprise us, and it's a third party IP because I think technically that's also possible. And with Expedition 33, they do have shown that they're not it's potentially not just their first party lineup.
True.
But yeah, I think like there's so much coming. Like maybe like again, like what will get me excited is if they showcase the new Mass Effect, for example, or they surprise us. Hey, we just released the remasters of Soul Reaver. Hey, we have another Soul Reaver game, and it's going to be in Game Pass. Like, I don't care if you have that. Absolutely, I will be excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Dragon Quest 12. It's back from the dead.
That would be interesting. That's a good one. That's more where I was leaning if it was third party, because technically they haven't really, acknowledged that game just yet, and Square's, claiming all this multi-plat praise and all this other nonsense. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting if they actually
But
revealed that
that
there.
would be unannounced, right? But 16 is already announced, so I can see it being 16.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Omar.
I can see it being Final Fantasy 16.
I know, but like you randomly said that. Like why'd you say Final?
I thought you
I
were
was-
talking about that because
No,
that
we're
was
talking about Dragon Quest.
we said Dragon Quest
oh
12.
oh
That's why I was. That's why I
that
was
would be
How,
lost.
how,
interesting then.
how did you understand that as Final Fantasy 16?
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. Cool. Morgan. Same thing. How are you feeling about, like I said, what they've announced to be shown? What are you interested in? And what are you hoping is the unannounced game? So I'll do it this way for the mystery
Mm.
game. If it's one,
Mm.
if it's announced, what do you hope it? If it is announced and it turns out it's not really an unannounced IP, it's just been on hiatus or something for a while. What do you hope it is? And then if it's unannounced and it's your biggest thought, what do you hope it is?
Yeah, I'm gonna assume it's unannounced just because Angry Bird said a surprise unannounced game. We hope you will enjoy along with the rest of the show. So I'm gonna assume. I mean, he's kind of, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna assume
exactly.
he for at least this part, since marketing is his damn job.
Mm-hmm.
That he's being truthful
Honest.
about it being an
Yeah.
unannounced game. But as far as the direct goes, it's interesting to me how the directs through the years, it started in 2023, I believe. They seem to be integrating and becoming more and more, I'm not trying to be mean, but they're becoming more third party essentially. As far as the games, like the first one, it was like Starfield, Avowed, Hellblade 2, games that were exclusive to the Xbox platform. And like the more it goes, like last year we had Call of Duty, and then Indiana Jones, which we know it's coming to PS5, and then now half the games that are going to be in this direct are essentially third party games. So just making that note there that they seem to become more integrated as the directs go on, which I find interesting.
They do.
Yeah. But as far as the games themselves, like everybody knows, like, yes, I am down for South of Midnight day one. And I do not like always, I do not care which platform it releases on. I will be playing it via Game Pass day one. Even, even if they announce it coming to PlayStation later, I'm still gonna play day one on Game Pass because that's who I am as a gamer. I don't like waiting. So yeah, I've been excited for that one for a while since they announced it. Seeing the stop
More
motion.
than me.
Yes, seeing the seeing the stop motion, seeing the location. Being a Black girl from the South, I was very excited about this game. I was like, oh hell yeah. So, yeah, that was a day one all day. Then of course, when we saw Expedition 33 for the first time, I was just like, oh my God. At the I think it was like the Xbox Summer Showcase last year. Yeah, I've been keeping my eye on that one. I've pre-ordered the deluxe physical edition with the steelbook and everything already. So that's on lock. Can't wait for that one to drop. It's very weird. This is a Game Pass game, right? Marketed with Xbox, but for some reason the physical steelbook is exclusive to PlayStation. It's just,
Oh,
yeah,
I mean, I understand that because they went digital. Xbox. They don't care about physical.
I mean,
Like that.
sure, but there's still some physical people on Xbox, so it kind of sucks if you are, because I mean, at least if you want that steelbook, you have to get it on PlayStation, which is weird. But yeah, that's always been a lock in. Like I've like that's day one. Doom, never really been a Doom fan, so it's just like that's cool. Happy for people, happy for Doom people, but don't really care about Doom like that. And then the mystery game. I don't know. It's like there's nothing, I don't know. I can't really think of anything unannounced that I would particularly like. Not from, at least from Xbox's first party. Because it's like, okay, so they own Activision, they own Bethesda, and such, and all the other developers, but there's nothing really I want from any of them. And it's not because it's Xbox, it's just I can't really think of an Activision IP that I care about. I'm not I'm not a Bethesda fan, so I don't really care about like a new Fallout or anything like that. The only developer I like from Bethesda is Machine Games, and they already released Indiana Jones, so it's not going to be anything from them. And so it's like from first party, I don't know. There's nothing that I can think of off the top of my head that I would care about. Like I would hope that they wouldn't use this as an opportunity to announce like the Master Chief collection or like the Gears of War collection and then say, oh, it's also coming to play. Like I really hope they don't do
God,
that.
I hope that's not the
I don't
unannounced.
think I don't think they're that tone deaf. Like I'm gonna give them.
I would hope not. I would hope not. Like I was like, please do not use this as an opportunity to say something is coming to PlayStation. Like don't like just focus on Xbox and keep it Xbox. But I'm trying to think maybe something third party that they have. Like last year for the Direct, they announced the Visions of Mana with Square Enix. And let's be honest, most of the people over there didn't play it because one, it didn't even come to Game Pass, but they didn't care about it anyway. But I think that was just Xbox's way of saying, see, we have something from Square.
Yeah, I mean, essentially.
So you guys it was them kind of, showing that there's a relationship growing with Square Enix and the East. So they were just kind of like, see, like our partnership is growing with them guys. We got a game to show at the Delver Direct.
Yeah.
That y'all are not going to play, but here you go. So maybe, I don't know, maybe something from Square, maybe something from one of their. I mean, they're really.
I mean, if it's from Square, it's got to be Dragon Quest 12 at this point.
Yeah, I'm saying, and because they're really pushing this, showing off that they're trying to expand to the East. They're like seems to be their big push currently. Like hey, we can get Japanese games too, kind of thing. So honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if it was something from Square or something from Capcom or something, from Sega. I don't know. That's what I would assume it would be. Yeah, something from the East because they got a lot of Western developers here. So I don't know. That's my line of thinking, especially since they had Square Enix there last time. I think they probably want to keep that trend going to kind of cement that relationship. So that's what I would think. But as far as the developer direct goes, I am excited to get. Hopefully, we'll finally get some release dates.
Yes.
Expedition 33 is still scheduled for spring 2025, and spring is right around the corner. So I would expect
time to lock it in.
Yeah, within at least the latest April or something. So it seems like the perfect time. We're in January, a few months out. So it seems like the perfect time to give a release date. And then also, South of Midnight is also, people are assuming it is, the first half of 2025. It makes sense to be also a spring game. So, coming out March, April, because obviously Avowed's coming out in February. So, you would have South of Midnight coming a month or two afterwards. Especially if they have all the games that they're planning to have in 2025 Xbox from their first party. They're going to have to kind of, have a game come out every other month. That's kind of what they're, if they have this big release of games coming out in 2025, they're going to have to kind of squish games together a teeny bit. Not too much where they're overcrowding each other, but in a decent pace. So I could see South of Midnight being like a March or April, maybe even May release. So, and then people are saying Doom is more of an end of the year game. Some people thought it was going to be summer, but now they're saying it's more end of the year. I don't know. But if it is towards the end, like the latter half of 2025, then it's not going to get a release date because they're going to be waiting for GTA. They're not going to be like, they're not going to be like October, 13th, 2025, because if GTA comes out in, October the 10th or something, they're going to be like, oh, fuck. Okay, we're going to have to move this. So I could see them just being like fall 2025 or second half 2025 or whatever. So unless, like I said, unless Doom comes out earlier, like summer, then I could definitely see a release date. But if it's fall, then they're not going to say anything because then they're just going to have to delay it. And that's not anything against Doom. It's just GTA against anybody is just a juggernaut. Like if Ghost is
Absolutely.
coming out in fall, they're gonna have to move Ghost. Because it's like, if Ghost of Yotei comes out fall, they're gonna have to move that too. Well, they're gonna have to
But
wait
would they
for
know?
a day. No, they wouldn't. I mean, I'm sure they have a guess, but nobody knows. That's why everybody's waiting, because nobody knows. That's why we're not getting. That's why we haven't seen a release date for anything in the fall. Everything that's been fall has said fall 2022 or second half or 2025 or second half 2025 or late 2025. Nothing. We've only gotten dates like from January to like August. We haven't gotten anything later than that, and that's why, because everybody's waiting, because you can't. I'm sure these like PlayStation and Xbox have obviously discussed things, because they're platform holders and Rockstar is making a game for their platform, so I'm sure that they have a idea, but they don't, they can't do anything until they get a definitive date, until Rockstar says, this is the day. And who knows, because the Rockstar could say, oh, it's October 10th 2025, and then September or August rolls around and they're like, okay, we're going to delay it to 2026. Because that's very typical Rockstar. Well, they'll give you a date and then delay it a year anyway. So it's just a wait and see type of thing. And everybody's waiting to see, because Rockstar has been very quiet, which is weird, because this is where they usually start rolling out the gameplay trailer. So
True.
they say they're still on track. So we shall see. If so, we should be getting the next trailer very soon. So I don't know. I just feel like we're gonna be getting a tweet from Rockstar, the infamous yellow tweet, where it's just like, we appreciate all our fans, and we understand you've been waiting so graciously and patiently for this game, and we appreciate all the support, but we're delaying this bitch. So
the way the rest of the developers about to relax.
The way developers are gonna the universal sigh of relief. Oh, okay, all right, everybody, let's go. Everybody gear up, put the hatches, tweet the release date. Let's go. They said 2026, so 2025 is ours. Okay, so go ahead, put that date that we already wrote down, tweet it out. We're good. People, we're gonna see a wave of release dates happen after that too. It'll be so funny. I hope it's not delayed, just because I've been waiting forever to play GTA 6. So
I'm sorry.
Personally,
it's enough with the delays out here.
I'm sick of the delays, personally. But like I said, although I hate delays, as I'm sure everybody does, I understand why delays are necessary, and if a delay is required, then by all means take it. This for me, GTA 6 is that momentous game of the generation. So for it to get to the point that y'all want it to get to, I understand a delay. Take that delay, take the time you need, because this is a once in a generation type game. Get it to where it needs to be. Get it the quality it needs to be, because when I finally experience it, I want to sit down and be like, oh my God, we're here. This is GTA 6, guys. We finally made it.
Absolutely.
Because God knows that for me, that's going to be all-nighter. But
I need like the week off.
Yeah. But yeah, we're getting off topic. But the developer direct, I'm excited to see what it is, to see how it is. Like, even if I don't care for the mystery game, the games that are there, at least 2 of them, I am excited to see a little bit more of and get a release date. So yeah.
Yeah, same. Omar, same thing. So the games that are announced, which ones are you excited for, and what do you hope the unannounced title is?
Okay, so I'm interested in Doom, mostly because I was never that much of a Doom guy. I played Doom, I played a few Dooms.
You're interested in Doom. Okay, I didn't see that one coming.
Did you not hear my excitement when I saw how he got a shield now?
I still didn't think that would make you interested, but hey,
No,
if it changes
no,
the game, it changes the game.
That's the thing about me. I have broadened my genre. Beforehand, I wouldn't touch FPS like that.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm surprised, because you're finally getting up there.
Yeah, I did that with Borderlands, but after it was. I think what made it better for me was Titanfall 2, because I love Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2
Amazing
was
game.
very good.
Even though I never played the first one. Other than that, Thoughts of Midnight, I'm more hyped than Morgan, and you can't say anything otherwise. You can't prove anything otherwise.
that's very untrue. But go ahead.
We will see who is gonna be more excited about it.
Morgan says she
Uh,
from.
I mean,
Morgan
I
says
already
she
know
from
I'm
the
more
south.
excited about it,
She
but
from the south. Don't make it come out.
this this is a game for
I've
me,
been
sir.
talking
So
about it nonstop to the point where even though I forgot what's its name, I now
yeah. You
memorize.
mean where you forgot its name? Yeah,
I
yeah.
now
Okay,
memorize. No, I now
Mister.
memorize its name.
Okay. So Mister, I'm more hype about it. Forgot the name
No,
of the
but
game. Okay.
I don't remember game names like that.
Oh, okay. Well, then that means you're not as hyped as me. If you can't remember the name of a game that you claim to
The
be more
second
hyped
you
about than me.
describe which game it is, I'm
Oh,
excited.
okay, okay. He
But
said
we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
it's
I'm
not
genuinely
locked in
serious.
his memory. He just you reminded me of that game.
I
Okay.
I think to me it feels like this is Xbox could be Xbox at their best. Cause to me, Xbox best game is not their own. It's Ori 2. I love Ori 2 so much.
I
So
mean, that makes sense.
I'm genuinely excited to see how they're gonna implement Thoughts of Midnight. The skills, the everything, the
Wait,
platforming.
what does Ori have to do with South of Midnight?
Oh, because um, in my mind, this is Xbox first time big IP that I'm excited about. Cause I don't care about games like that. I don't care about Halo. I don't care about Forza. So Thoughts of Midnight is the next game that I'm super excited about.
I thought you liked Halo. Well, that's what you said in the chat.
I never played Halo. I played Gears.
Sir, okay. Well,
I'm just,
you shared Halo, the possibility of Halo coming to PlayStation. You said yay, so I assumed
yeah, I'm
you
absolutely
were
gonna do.
excited.
I'm absolutely gonna do because I wanna see what the fuss is about.
Oh my god,
Oh man.
Again, I used to not play FPS. Halo is
sir, you have a
FPS.
PC. You could just see what the hype is about right
You can
now
put right
if you
now.
wanted to. If you wanted to.
Today.
But I'm busy with Metal Gear. I'm busy with
Oh, okay.
playing
So when
games.
it comes out to PlayStation, all of a sudden you won't be busy. Oh, okay, got you. Thank you.
Then it's literally a next gen or not next gen. This year game. So then I have no
Oh,
chance
so then
to
all of a
play it.
sudden that means you won't be busy anymore because it's this year game. Gotcha.
I need that. Also, I need that dual sense.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I was
There
waiting
it
for you to
is.
tell the truth.
There
I was waiting
it
for you
is.
to tell the truth and stop going around it. Okay, there we go. That's
No,
what
but
it is.
I don't know. Retalk. I'm not gonna lie. I would rather get a Gear 5 Gears collector edition than a Halo. Cause with Gears, I played
Yeah, Omar.
the first one, second one. I think I played the third one too. I forgot. Cause there is one is not playable on PC. That's why I had to watch it on YouTube to understand the story. Um, Besides that, I was gonna mention. So shout out to Vitamin E podcast. Jubei said maybe the hidden game is gonna be Everwild, which would have been a great pick, if not for now knowing that it's an unannounced IP. So I'm gonna go with. Oof, I think Square. Square and PlayStation relationship have been so rocky that I I know they need that attention. So, and the only thing they're not gonna announce Final Fantasy, the next Final
Yeah,
Fantasy,
they're definitely
when
not. It's not even time for that
when
yet.
they're literally busy with remake Final Fantasy 7 Part 3 already.
I mean, it's not even time for that. I mean, 16 already. I mean, 16 is only a year old.
Yeah, but
they
they're
they
yeah.
wouldn't be able to announce it because I'm sure it's still, even if they have something, it's probably still
It
in the planning
would be
phase.
so early, yeah. The only thing, and I said it gotta be a Dragon Quest. Like we haven't had a mainline Dragon Quest since 12, I think.
No, 11. 12 is the
11,
next
thank
one.
you. Okay, 11. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they're gonna showcase. And besides that, hey, they can surprise you. Look at Acquisition 33. I'm super excited about that. But um, maybe something from. So I'm thinking something from Atlas, but what?
Persona 6. I mean,
No, no, no way. I don't think
I
PlayStation is
mean,
that
I mean
stupid.
they've been buddy
Yeah,
with them forever now. They're trying to, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It still sells 85% on PlayStation anyway, but yeah. I mean
I'm,
that's the thing that's on the horizon, so
it would be so fucking out of left field, and PlayStation would be so caught
I mean,
in
I
the
think that's
pants up
incredibly disrespectful, but
if
I mean,
they
I
get
still
Persona 6.
yeah.
Because remember when that Sony executive said that they value Persona as an IP and stuff like that, and exclusivity or whatever? I remember a year or something he stated that. So it's gonna be interesting. Another thing could be Capcom, but what? They've been so working on so many titles. I don't think.
I don't think Capcom got anything else left to announce.
Yeah,
So
Dino Crisis, shut up.
Dino Crisis. Would they announce
I
that one?
mean, I'm just saying. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, but I think that would be more of a PlayStation thing. I mean, just because Capcom seems to be really close to PlayStation when it comes to that. Like they always announce their Resident Evils and the Resident Evil remakes and the new Resident Evils at State of Plays or PlayStation events. So
yeah.
Capcom seems to have more of a relationship with PlayStation. At
Oh,
least right now.
you know what I just thought of?
What?
Parasite Eve remake.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Oh,
yeah,
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
here's another
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Don't tease me like that, bro. Don't tease me
Yeah,
like that.
that's a
Or,
good one.
or another one would be Final Fantasy 9 remake. Because we
Yeah,
know they're working,
that's what you
there's
want.
a rumor that they're working on that.
And you know what's gonna happen? That trilogy is gonna be exclusive to Xbox.
Oh yeah,
Oh
that
god.
would be a nice gesture.
I mean,
Oh,
I mean, honestly, I
Very
would just
quick,
laugh at that.
yeah,
that would be hilarious. The trilogy wars.
very quick to hero down
Right?
Uh
under. I
I,
don't
I I'm good.
oh.
very quick to hero down under. I genuinely don't care where I play my game. Like I played Ori 1 and 2. Why? Because it was on Xbox. I played it
Listen,
on
he doesn't
PC.
care as long as you give him a dual sense, then he doesn't care. But
No,
if he's
have if I have if I have the ability to play it on PlayStation, I'm absolutely gonna prefer on PlayStation. But what I'm not going to do is miss out on a game because of exclusivity. That's it.
I don't know. You be waiting for it to come to PlayStation. Like I'll be like, Omar, play it on your PC. I don't know. I think I'm gonna wait. I'll
My
be like,
PC,
Omar,
my my
bro,
my PC don't have space.
don't have
Like
space. There's this crazy button called delete, Omar. I don't know if you've ever heard of it,
I
but it
can't.
deletes games
I
that are
don't.
on there,
I
so
only
you don't
have.
have to keep
I
all the
only have
games
one.
on there.
I only have one big game, which is Cyberpunk.
It sounds like you need to upgrade your storage then.
Oh yeah, he definitely needs to
Sony,
upgrade his storage.
If
yeah,
I delete
Sony said your game, Nate.
Oh yeah,
if I
yeah, because Sonny knows me. Yeah,
if
that's why I
I
saw
Yeah,
delete
Xenogears.
this
He
nigga would
knows.
cry. He would scream on Discord if that was announced. I'm waiting to hear it for that
I'm
to happen.
camping.
Just so I can
I'm
hear.
camping outside their
It's in the chat.
headquarters. I am
Yeah, he
camping
gonna be
outside
like,
their
oh,
headquarters to make sure they get it
shit.
right. Like, don't
Oh
play
really?
with me.
Oh no. If we get a Xenogears remake before Xenogears 1 hitting PlayStation Plus, nah, that's too much.
Yeah, I
Wait,
mean that.
why? Nah,
That's
give me
so
the.
much.
I would take the remake over that though.
Uh,
If
I
it stays true to the
Yeah,
to the game.
it's gotta stay true to the game. Like it's gotta be like I said, like the Suikoden 1 and 2 that's coming. It's gotta be like that. No, nothing fancy. Don't go crazy. Don't ruin the vibe. It's gotta maintain all the little quirks that were in it that are about how you navigate the cities, how you fight. Everything's got to be spot on. None of this brand new 3D super engine stuff. None of that, because that's going to change it too much.
Meanwhile,
you don't
they're
want a
gonna
Final
make
Fantasy VII type of remake.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Nah,
I don't
I
want
think
that.
they're gonna make it like that. They're gonna hybrid it.
Yeah,
I think I think Square Enix lost any genuine hope for games like time-based AAA to sell like that, which is why we seen them drifting out and making Octopath, and while turning
I love
16.
Octopath so much.
And yeah, I love Octopath so much, but you way more than me. You got the plot. Um, but besides that, it's gonna be interesting to see what they have. Or maybe it's just gonna be a first party game.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be. Um,
But we know some of their studios are cooking.
they are.
That they haven't announced stuff like both PlayStation and Xbox been cooking. PlayStation what announced one game? No, two. Intergalactic and
Ghost of Yote.
Yote.
They also announced Wolverine, sir. Y'all be forgetting about Wolverine.
No, I didn't forget. I mean, I was about to say it, but yeah.
Okay, I get you. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Either way, we're gonna be seated.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming very, very soon, very shortly. Shout out to them for not announcing it super far out. So,
I think because they announced it a while, like give it a time to breathe. Do you think they want to have a lot of people seated to surprise you with something big, 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 or
I mean,
don't think
they always want 1 billion people sitting. I mean, whether they announce it close or not doesn't matter. I mean, people who are going to pay attention are going to pay attention. Like, that's not going to change. Like,
hey, Okami on the screen? It does that.
But yeah, I mean, as for me, obviously, I'm kind of in the same camp with you, Morgan. Like, I don't really, Doom has never pulled me in. I've played 2016 and Eternal. I fell asleep on both of them. I think they are great games. That's not to say they're not great games. It's just it's a certain cadence to the way you're supposed to play them that just doesn't do it for me. And then one of my biggest things, like I told Eve,
he admitted he offbeat. It's okay.
It's just not for me. like I mean, and I didn't have the performance thing. I know we've said 2016 was weird on PlayStation or something. I played it on PC at like 200 FPS, so that definitely was not a problem for me. It's just like I told him, I got like lost looking for like a key card. That took way too long because the game is just supposed to be fast, move, and like that kind of got me bogged down. And I was like, all right, I can't do this. It felt like too samey in the areas I was in and stuff. Again, not to take anything away from the game because I think the games are great and I get why people like them. That's a game specifically for me that I especially like to play on PC because it's a really, really high speed FPS. So,
but did you check out Internal then or not?
I played both of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just something was weird. I got frustrated in the beginning. Like the problem is like, and I was explaining to people, this is kind of like gaming is like my anime. If something doesn't click with me it like early on, and I've got something I really want to play besides that, I'm probably just gonna drop it. Like that's kind of the problem.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Give it for dropping.
It doesn't. It depends on the game. Doom is not a game that takes long to get started. Like, again, like what I played, I enjoyed of Eternal. Like it starts, it's cranking you out the gate and you're shooting stuff going crazy. But then I like ran into an enemy that was like, I don't know, you're supposed to do something weird with the enemy, and like they were like impervious or something. And I'm sure there's a way to kill them, and I was supposed to know it, and I just didn't feel like dealing with it. I didn't want to look it up. Like I was just like, all right, I'll deal with this later, and I just never went back to it. Like. Yeah, but I don't dislike or like hate the games or anything. It's just it just didn't click for me. And then it's also part of
okay.
yeah, part of the frustration for me was, like I said, I also didn't finish 2016. So like story wise, if there was one, I was like, oh, I'm probably not gonna really care anyway. But yeah, like you
Yeah,
said, they're
but
really good.
I mean, you don't play those games for the story.
Nah.
I blame Microsoft for this because if they had that Halo and Doom crossover in Secret Level, I probably would have got you interested. I blame
Yeah,
them.
I mean, Secret Level was hot, so yeah, I mean, they could have had some juice coming out of that.
I can't lie, because that Warhammer Secret Level had me like, damn, should I play Warhammer?
Yeah, the Warhammer Secret Level, I wanted to jump back on the game right
fire.
then, so
I was like, damn.
I wish playing Warhammer, like, I wish
like
playing Warhammer was like that.
I was like, it was dark and it was deep, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Like if the story was like that for Warhammer, I'd definitely be on it. Like,
yeah, I mean, the guy from there is in there, right? But like,
right.
They were
this Titus.
Yeah, they were thugged out on a whole different level in Secret Level.
The
like
way they were moving in there, I was like, dang, badass. Like,
yeah, they was not messing around. Like, I need that. I need them to give me that Titus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unstoppable. This man got 2 modes: walk and kill. Like they were just like, how you walking through an ambush? Like you don't even care. Like,
Yeah, and you got that for like the prologue, like that. There's like, oh yeah, this is it, and then it's just another squad-based shooter basically.
So yeah, that's what I noticed when because I was watching somebody stream it, and I was like, oh yeah, that intro is fire. But then I kind of got bored watching because it just felt really samey.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, damn, how you have that banger ass intro? But yeah, if Warhammer, if it kept that kind of grittiness, that level that was in Secret Level, a story like that would have got me all in that series.
Yeah, I will say it's definitely just as dark, right? Like there's blood everywhere. Like you're in the thick of it, right? Like I that's one thing they do really well. Like it simulates being in the middle of a war, like very well. But yeah, like I said, it just like the badass level was like, I mean, if I had to do a scale from 1 to 10, the badass level for the game is like a 6, but the badass level for the show was like 150. Like they were like on a scale,
they were like bouncing grenades off each other, and it was just like, oh shit, like
yeah.
I was like, damn, they built like that. Oh
yeah, they're built like that. Like I've played some other stuff, and like some of them are legendary like that. Like this one you wouldn't ever really play on consoles because the way it controls and stuff, but they kind of Dawn of Warhammer, like you kind of get an idea like that because you have like these units that are like hero units, so like Titus and stuff like that, and they can like come in, swoop from the sky, land, and just like destroy the whole ground, and then like immediately battle like the enemy's main guy and just go crazy. Like you can do some insane stuff. So they do a good job of capturing it. Like this isn't to say that like the game is terrible, but like compared to the show just was like on a whole different level. It was short, but yeah, it was just on a whole different level. But I think they captured Warhammer, what a lot of people in fandom feel about how they feel about the world in general, right, with Warhammer. So yeah, they did a really good job. But yeah, as for like I said, and I could change my mind about Doom, right? The thing that bothers me though, like I said, I'm a play it in order person, regardless of the fact that it's not story heavy. I would feel really weird playing the third Doom and having like played the first two for like the first one for like an hour and a half and the other one for 30 minutes.
Well, technically, the Dark Age is a prequel, so.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I maybe I won't feel bad about it then. That makes me feel better. If I decide I like it.
But the biggest question: how are they gonna explain why you lost your shield then, if it's a prequel?
My God, Omar.
I'm sure they will. They'll throw it in there somewhere. But yeah, obviously South of Midnight looks really, really good. I've become a lot more interested in that game now that I've seen her powers and how they grow and stuff like that. Like just the whole premise was really interesting. You know, nobody has really done like the Bayou and stuff like that. What I find interesting about it most is just like I said, the stories of the South. Uh, I mean, me and Morgan were watching the making of, and them just talking about how they, you know, they went and talked to like old black women in the South, you know, that really know these stories and you know the lore down there, these you know, almost like places in the woods, the places you don't go, you know, all the folk stories and stuff like that. Like there's so much history and stuff down there, and it's kind of cool to see that. A lot of people say they want a lot of cultural based games where you get to go into different cultures and stuff like that and experience like that, but it takes a lot, right, to give you kind of that feeling and to design a game around them, right? um, so
It's
to,
research, right?
yeah,
A lot of
they
research.
did a lot of research and they've got a
I
lot of good people
remember.
on hand, you know, in order to keep them straight and help them tell those stories, you know, from the granny on the porch, you know, when people were growing up that grew up in Louisiana, and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really excited to just see that game overall. Hopefully, Compulsion kill it, um, and hopefully I really love the game because, like I said, so far I'm really excited. I just need them to nail that execution and
Yeah, I just
it'll be
love
great.
stop motion, and whenever it's introduced in gaming, I think it's such a nice concept. I also like the fact that you have the ability to turn it off in the game if it bothers you with the eyes or anything. I think it's nice. You just can't turn it off in the cutscenes, I believe, which is fine because it's obviously a part of the storytelling. But if it bothers you in gameplay, you can turn it off, which is I think is a nice accessibility feature. I won't be turning it off, but
Then
I
not
think
what?
it's the stop motion. You can turn it off in the game.
Stop motion,
Oh,
okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I have no
Oh,
idea what stop motion is, but I will have to
Oh
look
my
at it.
God, Omar! It's you don't see that the stop motiony frame rate in the game. You don't notice. You don't see that.
Oh, the slowness. Okay, gotcha.
I think
Yes.
I think you still lost, but
Yeah, it's fine.
I remember it, but I understand what you're saying.
See, this is why I'm more hyped for this game, Omar. See, I know more. You see how this works.
You know more about tech than me. That's it. That's
No,
me.
no, no. I see. Did you watch
Wait,
the developer direct? Did you watch that? Not the developer direct, but the deep
no,
dive.
I'm going in blind.
oh
Like
god,
I
this man.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I
Mm,
watched a little bit, like 10 seconds about
mm,
that boss fight, and I'm like, yep, I'm
mm.
excited. That's it. I don't need to
Okay.
see anything more.
Interesting, interesting, because it didn't have spoilers. It was just like a background of
Oh,
the why they chose the game and the locations that they scouted out. So it's not spoiler territory. So
I
it's
have no
interesting you didn't
idea what
watch it.
that
it
means
it
about. I
is
have no idea
it's
what that
extremely
means about.
interesting, but
All I
Interesting.
know is from the south. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And it
So
Okay.
might be a
Well,
Sam,
so we've proven now that Morgan's more hyped for this game. Thank you,
no,
Omar.
it's just
Um,
trying
no,
to
no,
make
it's
it
fine.
work.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
That's it.
okay. It's all right. You can concede. It's okay.
Yeah.
no, I see Sam was saying that a lot of his family is from Louisiana, so he's really interested to see their take on it. Yeah, like when you're really from the South, man, it's gonna be interesting because I mean you grow
Mm-hmm.
up on that stuff, hearing some of these stories and stuff like that. Especially if you know people from out there. Like people from Louisiana are always really passionate about a lot of these crazy ghost stories, and you know, the crazy
Oh, okay.
things going on in the lakes down there, and the way the areas get flooded, and like there's always so much stuff going on down there. Obviously, you know, the whole kind of voodoo vibe and stuff that goes on. So um, obviously Mardi Gras and all the other stuff. So a celebration, and also like it's very celebratory, but also dark side. Also, you know, a lot about food and just the culture overall. So yeah, it'll be really interesting, man. They seem like the people that were on hand really know what they're talking about. So um,
Yeah. Sam said they better not mess it up. I don't think they will. I think you can tell the passion Compulsion Games has for this game, and I think the point of their deep dive where they had the 30-minute or 40-minute breakdown of their game, and I think the purpose of that was to show that they did the research. They made sure to corroborate sources. Like it's not just them just coming up with crap. Like they did their due diligence when it comes to this game and making sure that they stay true to the lore. Tell it in a story in a way, in a compulsion games kind of way, but make sure that you have your sources and you're using the correct people to advise you on this game. So it looks like they spent a lot of time and passion on this project. So I definitely don't think they're gonna mess it up. People are gonna hate on it just because of the nature of gaming right now for reasons, and we all know those reasons. But I don't think, as far as the game itself goes, I don't think they're gonna mess it up. I think it's gonna be a good game.
You know what it feels to me? And maybe I'm wrong. This feels like this is gonna be their version of Ghost of Tsushima. What do I mean by that? They're gonna lay it so well, people are gonna be surprised that they respected the source material and the history and stuff like that. That even if it's fictional and stuff like that, you can still bring out the culture and how life used to be and stuff like that. How and they talk about the ghost story and stuff like that. So I feel like this could be Xbox first big IP that they nail like that.
Well, I think the first big IP that they know was probably Indiana Jones, but
Yeah, that's getting a lot of praise.
They don't know the IP, but okay.
yeah, I mean, they
You
don't
mean
own it, but I mean,
original IP is what you meant to say.
Okay, so you were
Yeah.
talking about original IPs. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. It is of a smaller game, so I don't know how successful it'll be. Hopefully this won't end in a hi-fi rush type of situation. Where it does well, it's critically acclaimed, but then it doesn't sell or doesn't do any metrics for Game Pass, and so then they axe it. Like I hope not.
PlayStation.
You said what?
I'm curious if they're gonna port that to PlayStation.
What, this game? I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, I'm playing either way. But
Day one
and
on
I'll play it day one, then I'll buy it again on PlayStation, like I did with Hi-Fi and Pentiment. But and I'm gonna do it in Indiana Jones. But yeah, it's looking good though. It's looking good.
It is. For me, as far as like the mystery game, if it's third party, like I said, I 100% could see it being between Dragon Quest 12 and Persona 6. If it's in house, honestly, I can see it being like a teaser for Fallout 5.
Shit.
Mainly because the show is so hot, and I think they would want to capitalize on that, whether they are in the middle of it or not.
I thought Todd already said though that they don't have any plans for Fallout until after Elder Scrolls.
I mean, yeah, it is after, but I'm saying like they could still tease it. I mean, like,
oh my god,
I get it, but I'm not. I don't put it past them. I'm just saying.
Tease it and then they're not even gonna be working on it until the game that isn't gonna be releasing for another year or two.
I mean, you gotta remember
they'll be
teased,
teasing it 7 years before it comes out, essentially.
Just like Elder Scrolls.
Oh my god! No, do not do that. Because that's just rude to Fallout fans.
But I mean, I'm just saying that's what I think.
Because I'll be so pissed because I would know. I was like, what was the point of that? Because I would know that it's not coming out for another 6-7 years at the least.
Unless they got a surprise team working on it, so I don't. But yeah, that's what I think.
Todd ain't letting that happen
in house, so we'll see. The next topic for us is obviously the Switch 2. We had a ton of leaks. Apparently, Nintendo heard a lot about Genki when they got back in the office, and decided to have a conversation with them with their lawyers.
They said, "Yo, we leave for 1 week for Christmas."
Vacation.
They said we leave for the holidays, and now all of a sudden, everybody talk about the Switch. They said, "Hold up."
Yeah.
We don't have it. It's a mock-up. Don't sue us. We are nice people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they're pleading for their lives right now. For whatever reason, I don't know why they went all out showing the demo at CES that they did. That showed it.
Because I don't think the issue was the accessories. It was the fact that they showed a mock-up of what the Switch 2 would look like. And I think that was the issue.
They revealed so much.
Well, I think
The
the key thing was the locking mechanism, because that's part of the thing that changed with the Switch 2. It no longer has a rail; it's magnetic. Um, so regardless of the fact that the mock-up is not representative of the actual Switch, the mechanism for their controllers and accessories are, because those have to be to spec in order to go on the Switch 2. So we can verify that that much has actually changed. Um, and they were showing in the video, their official product video, they were showing it actually, clicking on to their accessory charger, which would mean that the Switch would match that. I don't think it was a big deal, but again, anything with an unreleased platform is going to be a big deal. Again, I don't know whose bright idea it was at Genki to go that far. I mean, if they wanted to show it, they could have done like AMD did with some of their cards, kind of did it behind the scenes and really only showed journalists, and then they could just kind of talk about it, but you didn't really get to see until a later date. But yeah, once they were videoing and the video got out, yeah, it was kind of rough for them. Um, Obviously now we also know about backwards compatibility on the things. If the mock-up has anything to say about it, we're looking at a potentially bigger screen, and stuff like that. So I don't know, Morgan, was there anything about the leaks that potentially excited you more for a Switch 2, or you're still on the wait and see, let Nintendo really give you the green light if you're gonna decide you want one or not?
Um, no. This Nothing about the leaks really excited me because I don't really care about what the hardware specifically, like as far as the external goes.
Mm-hmm.
I care more about what the power is going to be. So,
Okay.
what it looks like, the locking mechanism, the size, is not really that big of a deal because I think it's going to be obviously probably a slightly bigger screen than the first one. I mean, that's usually what happens when the second iteration of a handheld happens. Get a bigger screen or whatever. So I mean, I was fine with the original screen as far as like the size goes of the first one. So that's not a big deal to me. Um, and I know things like battery life and stuff like that. That tends to improve. So like I said, I don't really care about the how the external of the Switch is going to look or work. I'm sure they've taken the critiques from people about Joy Cons and things of that nature, and maybe not 100% fix them, but I'm sure they did some slight improvements. But I'm going to be probably using third party controllers anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the only thing I really care about is what's on the inside of that Switch. What's going to be the power? What's it going to run like in handheld mode? And what's it going to run like dock? Um, and what games are going to be available on there? Like, they kind of, Nintendo made that announcement that, they have these third party partners. And it was a lot of the major, you know, publishers like Activision, Ubisoft, stuff like that. So it seems like they're going to have big third party games on there, hopefully. Um, so yeah, that's the internals, the only really thing I care about. So the leaks, while funny, didn't really deter or excite me. And you get Omar.
I'm good. I didn't make a sound.
Oh, it sounds like okay. Never mind.
Oh, don't tell me my controller. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. Um, but yeah, it didn't sway me either way. I
Okay.
like I said, I only care about the internal. So
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. I think the only thing for me that um would get me excited out of what came out is apparently one of the more confirmed things that came out once the accessories were kind of examined a little closer is that it looks like it's true that they're going to use Halifax sticks. Anybody familiar with those will know they Halifax sticks cannot uh, get drift in them, so that would finally get rid of
Hey, the
the
learning.
the drift at all. Like there's no way. Like the way the sensor works, it completely eliminates the ability for that to happen. Apparently, it cost them a lot of money repairing Joy Cons, or and if they were, of course, out of warranty, it cost a lot of consumers plenty of money as well, getting those things repaired over time. Honestly, which is why, again, like you said, a lot of people went on to third-party controllers for better ergonomics, and to not have to worry about dealing with that Joy-Con drift situation. So yeah, it looks like they really learned their lesson as far as that goes. Obviously, we got to wait for full confirmation, but that was one of the bigger things that supposedly was confirmed with the leaks. So that's probably the more exciting thing. Hopefully, the screen is bigger and stuff like that. I mean, I'm always for that. I do, I do find it funny. I was looking at someone who's definitely like a big fangirl of Nintendo, and I laugh because Nintendo fans are famously like, we don't care about the tech. But, I laugh because, a lot of them are getting kind of bougie now because, they got a taste of the good life with an OLED screen.
They do care. They just don't want to admit it.
Well,
They,
a
the
lot
Xbox
of them have
version
never
of
experienced it, right? So now that the OLED version came out, like, this person in particular, she was like, I hope there's an OLED version or it's just OLED period, because I just can't go back to LCD after going to OLED. That is just like, I was just laughing.
That's one of the very interesting things that I remember asking you that a while ago. I was like, I wonder if they're going to go back, because they tend to do that, like not just Nintendo
for
but
cost,
just,
yeah.
But yeah, that seems to be what happens. Like, when it comes to handhelds, you'll have the Steam Deck and the Steam Deck OLED, and then the two will go back to LCD, and then they'll do an OLED edition again. So it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. Or they'll do like that kind of in between screen, like the micro
Like
LSD or
mini
LCD or
LEDs and
something,
stuff.
or the mini
Yeah.
LEDs, something like that.
Yeah.
Something to kind of like, it's still a good screen, but it's cost effective. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the only thing that might make me reconsider getting a day one if they come out with an LCD version and then we have to wait for the OLED version.
Yeah.
Like unless they come out with games that you can only play that on Switch too.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't think. I think they will probably just have for first couple of years, just everything's gonna come out on both Switch and Switch 2.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, then there's very little reason to hop on day one. Like, then
Do you think
yeah.
that they would release like two SKUs? Like, here's a cheaper, there's like a, I don't know, I'm just guessing, like a $400 version with the LCD screen, and then maybe a $500 with the OLED. Do you think they would do something like that?
It doesn't really feel like Nintendo style. Like they're
Okay.
more like, yeah, now here now, here's our new product, buy it, all
Yeah.
you're gonna get, and then they're gonna release, oh, here's the same one, but with different skin, like it's a Zelda skin, and
Yeah.
and then, oh, here you have a slim version, or here you have an OLED version. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, they always like to give us the better version later for whatever reason.
Because they know people will double dip.
Exactly. So why give you the option right from the start?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Mm.
so it'll be interesting to see. I'm in the same camp. I'm not really sure. I got to see that thing because I was really opposed to the LCD screen on the Portal, but the quality of that thing is phenomenal. So, yeah, I mean it depends. They got a lot of hardware decisions to make.
Mhm.
Obviously we got to see if it's sporting DLSS 4.
Oh man.
So
Wait, what?
I mean, it's gonna have an Nvidia card, so
Can it support DLSS 4?
that's the question.
I mean that's what we're saying. We have to see. I mean they're the only
But-
company with DLSS or working
Yeah,
with Nvidia.
Nintendo the Switch is gonna have an Nvidia card, so that's why
Okay,
people are asking.
if it maybe me and my ability to not understand tech, if something supports DLSS 4, doesn't that not make it more powerful than a PS5 Pro? Even?
No, that's not how
No.
that's not how that
Okay.
works. There's
Never
raw
mind
there's
then.
raw power, and then DLSS is the upscaling tech. So, like it will basically, if something is originally rendered at 1080p, it'll take it, cut it in half in a quality mode for DLSS, in DLSS 3.5 at least, and then it will upscale it so that it, it looks like 1080p to you, but it's running internally at a lower resolution, so that basically you can get high quality visuals without as much raw power. DLSS 4 is supposed to be even stronger. It could also have DLSS 4 plus. It could have frame generation capability. But again, like I said, we don't know what exactly Nvidia put in there, as opposed to their new cards that they announced. So we'll just have to. Yeah, we'll just have to see. That's why I said it's such a toss up. Despite all the stuff that did leak, we still kind of don't know enough. They really got to go and give us like the full breadth of what's available and how it's going to work, and then for us to really fully
Even though we
understand the
got the
capability.
inside look of the Switch itself, interesting.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell you anything. I mean, it's just, oh, there's some shiny stuff inside of it. That's a processor
Gotcha.
and a GPU. Like you can't know what it does until they start talking. So that's the key that we're gonna have to wait for. Obviously backwards compatibility. So I mean, you already said the leak was the 17th. I mean, I don't. The key is I just don't think it's gonna be outside of this month, because the leaks are happening too much. They promised literally this year that they were going to release it. People are way too antsy right now. The release is supposed to be early this year as well. So, I mean, you can't really not talk about it between now and March. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to talk about it this month. Like, it's just they have a hard date that they want to stick to, which is why, like I said, I think they were freaking out over some of the stuff that got out. But, yeah, I think it'll be sometime this month. The sooner the better, because honestly I'm just sick and tired of waiting for them to announce it. Like, the whole pre-announcement thing was kind of annoying, so yeah, we'll see what happens there. Then obviously I see Nelson jumped in. We obviously know
you made it.
No, Nelson's answer. He's getting the Switch 2 for the kids regardless of what happens.
I'm absolutely getting it myself. Like, finally, something I'm gonna join, which is the Nintendo JRPG race, I would say. But they get the most JRPG out of us.
I would say they get a lot. I don't know if I'd say they get the most.
I'm interested because it's like, you gotta remember, Switch they rarely have discounts out here. There's gonna be like some full price that's JRPGs.
Yeah,
they're gonna release it like
count it to be that price for the whole time.
Yeah, they don't bring nothing down. You could get some of their games that went to PC for like $14 by now, and then if you bought it on Switch, it's still like $52.99. Like they do not play. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we can talk about it in full, next week or the following week. So the main thing that I wanted to talk about, we're going to go to after this one. But obviously this news came out. This was something supported by some data that was brought out after examining what seemed to be the fallout for a game that was on Game Pass versus games that are not. It was reported that Game Pass can have a game lose up to 80% of premium sales when released day and date on the actual the hardware or not. Obviously, we've seen that where games have released multi-platform and they sell really well on PlayStation, but because they're on Game Pass, the sales don't ever really get reported. But I guess they were able to finally get a hold of some sales data between the two games that launched day one on Game Pass versus games that were premium, and it does it. I mean, pretty much exactly what we said. I mean, this is kind of like I said in the quotes, this is kind of an "I told you so" thing. Like it was very obvious that you're going to cannibalize.
With any common sense
sales.
needed report for this.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much already knew that. The thing that was always disputed was the percentage.
They never believed that.
Yeah, they were like, nah, it doesn't, drop their percentage that much, and it's like, well, it does, and like understandably so, right? Everybody talks about how great Game Pass is. Why wouldn't they play it via Game Pass, right? So it's like, it's
All of you have Game Pass, so it makes sense.
yeah. So it's like, I mean, I played the majority of their stuff there, with a few exceptions because of mods and some other things. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, this isn't really a surprise for us. It was just a recent report. Um, I mean, at one point Phil actually acknowledged it as well, in one of the interviews where he was just like, yeah, it's just kind of something we got to swallow because we said this and that, and it's kind of where they came out with core, as well, to kind of alleviate some of that stuff. So if some people don't want the day one stuff, they could just have core, and that would alleviate some of that day one strain. Uh, but obviously, I think most people have ultimate at this point. Um,
I
They did
truly
that.
do
They did that to
celebrate Day
pad Game
One.
Pass numbers because they had no growth, so they just rolled gold numbers Game Pass so they could show growth. That's all they did.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
remember
switch
they
over for that
even
was weird.
what you call it? He literally
It's like,
removed
oh,
it
we
from
have
his
34
product.
million, but they're just gold members that are not counted as Game Pass members. That's all.
Yeah, essentially. But yeah, like I said, to no one's surprised on here. Uh, I think that's just kind of the accepted business model they're at now. Um, I mean, they don't really have a choice. They're not going to revoke first party from Ultimate, so day and date. So I mean, I'm not really surprised at that. Morgan, obviously we've talked about this prior on the show, a long time ago. Seeing the official percentage, or rough estimated percentage based on some analytical data that came out. Does the percentage itself being about 80% surprise you, or does that seem right about on par with what you were thinking?
No, that seems to be right about on par. And then, of course, we've gotten real world data that shows that, with the example of Call of Duty, right?
Mm-hmm.
How 80%, I think they said, of the sales were on PS5 versus Xbox. And that's
Yeah.
due to, I mean, it's always been a large majority on PlayStation, but it's even larger now because of Game Pass, because you can access Call of Duty on Game Pass on Xbox. So now the sales that they would have gotten on Xbox, or a lot of them are now Game Pass, right? So yeah, it's not surprising. I mean, it's just kind of common sense that if you have a subscription and you're offering a game in it, that's going to potentially lose you sales. I mean, we've seen that in the movie industry, we've seen it with TV, like, um, as far as movies go, you lose those box office sales if people know it's going to be on HBO. I mean, that was a big problem with DC for the longest time.
Go to their movies because I was like, I'm tired of going to a movie because I'm not always available the week
Yeah,
it comes out. So I go to the movie on the third week, and a week later it's in Max. It's like, why the fuck did I don't ain't going
exactly.
to the movies no
Because
more. I'm done.
I
I'm already
think the
paying for
first
this.
one, if not the most prominent one that I remember as far as DC movies goes, was the second Wonder Woman film.
Batman for me, the Vengeance one. I went
Yeah.
and seen that, and like a week and a half later, it was in
I
Max.
remember.
I was like, bro, I would have just stayed my ass at home in a week.
Yeah, because I remember HBO or Warner Brothers announcing that it was going to come to HBO like 2 to 3 weeks after the theatrical release, and I was like, well, then I'm not going to go to the movies to see it. Like, I'm already paying for HBO, so I'm just gonna watch it at home. I could pop my own popcorn, I could chill, I could put it on the OLED 4K Dolby Vision, turn my stereo all the way up, and just listen to it that way in the comfort of my own home. Like, there's no point in me going to the movies then. And so I didn't, and so they lost a sale for me because I was going to go see it in the theaters. And that's kind of the same situation with Game Pass. Now, of course, there's always going to still be buyers because some people enjoy buying their games, whether it's digitally or physically. So there's always going to be people who want to own their games, even on Xbox. I know we like to make jokes, but people do buy their games on there. But still, a majority of people who are already into Game Pass, like if you're already subscribing, like, well, if I'm a primarily Xbox gamer, and I am subscribed to Game Pass, and the game that I was going to play is coming to Game Pass, then, well, damn, I'm just going to play it on Game Pass, unless I just really enjoy the game and then I end up buying it later. But that's just kind of the par for the course when it comes to subscription services. And I'm sure Microsoft they knew that, and I'm sure they ran the numbers and they were like, they were fine because that, regardless of, PlayStation is still making bank on Call of Duty, right? and they're probably making. I know there's been
now because they ain't
debates
paying for
about
none of the
this.
marketing.
That's
They
what
ain't
I'm
paying for
saying.
none of that shit.
Exactly. Now that they don't have to pay for marketing anymore, they don't have marketing rights anymore, and that they're not paying for marketing, they're probably making more on Call of Duty now because they're getting more sales and they don't have to market it anymore and pay for
They gave
that.
them 20% too because they have the marketing rights, so they're getting more, spending less.
Yeah, exactly. But even with that, Microsoft is still getting their cut, so I'm sure they're still happy regardless because they're still getting their large percentage from Call of Duty as well.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure, like I said, there's better people out there than me because I'm no financial advisor. I don't know anything about this stuff, but I'm sure there are people who are in Microsoft ran the numbers, and they knew it was going to be a loss. Like obviously, with all subscription services comes a loss of sales. So I think it being that that's why they went to a more multi-platform strategy, because if you're going to take that loss in sales, at least on your home turf, your home platform, you have to make those sales up somewhere else. So that's why more games are coming to PlayStation, because as they get the losses from Game Pass subs, they can gain it on another platform that doesn't have Game Pass, which is PlayStation, right? So yeah, so the 80% isn't surprising to me. I mean, we all said that was going to happen, and we all said that was not a good idea. But the thing about it not being a good idea at the time, I didn't think it was a good idea because the only platforms they were releasing on was Xbox and PC, right? For like at least outside of like Minecraft and stuff like that, right? So,
but now that
exactly, but now that they've expanded to PlayStation, it seems like a more viable way because now you have another source, and it's like one of the biggest, console gamer pool to gain profit from. So it makes more sense now that they're releasing their games on PlayStation. And this is not me saying, oh yeah, they should definitely release games on Play. No, I'm just saying business sense. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and improving their while launching in a lot more places like the TVs and so on and so forth, and not just blindly doing so, but in the meantime also, which they don't really talk about, but them improving their cloud streaming, because like I said, when you tried it originally, it was still very, very messy, and that was near the release of Pentiment.
Yeah.
And it was pretty bad, but now
like,
having tried it, it's a lot better.
Yeah, it's like, and there was like no excuses. It's like for Pentiment is like a sky, like you're basically side scrolling the entire time. And why am I having trouble playing that game on the cloud? Right? I'm literally just walking left and right. It's not like there's a bunch of action going on the screen. It's literally me walking left and right and clicking and text conversations, text bubbles and stuff like that. So I was having such hard time on the cloud. Like it was going, like my signal kept losing, and then like the frame rate was horrible, and the audio was sometimes out of sync. It was just not a good experience. I'll have to try it again sometime and compare it, but GeForce Now is still the best cloud experience. But
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I'll always recommend it. Like if you want to go in cloud, get GeForce Now. But yeah, I don't know what that is. All that shows me, the 80%, is that it shows that the direction of selling games towards PlayStation isn't going to decrease; it's going to increase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if the rumor
is flipping a switch to just start bringing people, can't just drop everything and start porting. It's gonna take time, but believe me, they need a revenue stream. They ain't getting it on Xbox. Game Pass isn't growing and they ain't selling nothing. So
and that's the thing. That's the key. Like
they got their bills gone up and their revenue ain't. You know what I mean?
Like Game Pass isn't really like. When was the last time we heard definitive Game Pass numbers? I think it was like 2022, 2023.
It was when they rolled gold to it, and they had 25 million Game Pass and 11 million gold. And then they announced 36 or 34 million, so they lost 2 million somewhere.
I think, to be fair to them, they have yet to get something big that gives them that.
I mean, they've had Call of Duty is one of the biggest games.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Call of Duty,
if you ain't
Indiana
announced
Jones,
it yet,
it didn't impress. Like they've had.
If they went up 10 million, they would have shouted from the mountaintops. would have been like, we at 47 million now.
Yeah,
They
if
didn't
they
say
had
shit.
anything to such degree, they would. They don't. They have nothing.
Come
I
on
think
now, Omar.
this
You
is
can't
also-
say that. You can't say they have nothing.
I mean,
Like,
when was the last? He said it 2 years ago. And what they were first stuck at 20 million. Then they got stuck at 30
yeah,
million.
I agree that Game Pass isn't growing, but I don't think I don't agree with they don't have anything. They've had games.
Yeah,
it's
Game
just
Game
I
Pass
don't.
is Game Pass is.
Game has some good months.
Yeah,
they have
well,
some
you gotta
good months.
specify. You gotta specify that because say they have nothing sounds like you say they have no games.
Yeah,
Game Pass is great. In my opinion, if you have a console or a PC, it's great to jump in once every couple months and play a couple games that might interest you.
But also,
yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that.
What's something big released beside Indiana Jones? Indiana Jones is literally the first big IP.
She just told you Call of Duty.
I mean, yeah, Call of Duty.
I know you. I know you don't care.
No,
but Call of Duty is pretty much one of the biggest games on the planet. You what?
I said lots of people don't.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, lots of people don't play Call of Duty. But
that doesn't matter. It's still one of the biggest games on the planet.
Yeah, it's always the biggest seller every year. Though we can't denounce Call of Duty.
I'm not discrediting.
Well, we can denounce it.
Well, yeah, we can't. Yeah, we can't denounce it, but we can't lie and say it's not a big game. Though it is a big game.
Yeah, and don't say that.
Monument to bad taste.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna argue with you there.
I can't disagree with that because this is the first Call of Duty I played in
a long time.
A long time.
A game like whatchamacallit,
Persona 3 Reload was in there, so I don't want to hear it because you was foaming at the mouth to play that too. So don't.
Yeah, no.
I'm about to say all the Personas were in there. So
that's a game. That's a game I would join the Game Pass for.
Oh, we know.
Or
or
a game like Activision 33. Like say, is that day one Game Pass?
Yes, it is day one Game Pass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. But it's not.
And yet, you know what else was day? You know what else was day one on Game Pass? Your 9 Souls game.
Oh yeah, Night Soul. I bet you
Game
money
Pass.
It didn't work sadly.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you. Otherwise, nah. To me, it just feels like they don't have enough IP.
Kunitsugami was on the Game Pass.
Yep, I was fired. That's where I played it.
It was, but who's gonna play that?
Oh damn. Okay.
No.
On the Xbox, ain't nobody playing that. Let's be honest.
Them.
True, but I'm just saying, Game Pass has some good offerings. It has some good offerings now.
When they hype up Metaphor, and then they put 1 hour in it, less than 1 hour, and
yeah, but we ain't arguing. We ain't having a conversation about
that. Wait.
We're not having a conversation about the Xbox user base because that ain't this conversation. The conversation is what we were having a conversation about Game Pass and what is on offer in Game Pass is where we segue to.
It's random. It depends which person enjoys what. But yeah, Game Pass does offer a lot. But it's a matter of you want to join Game Pass or not. And clearly it seems a lot of people don't. Not even for Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, we stated that though. That people who play COD are going to buy it one time.
I think a lot of people are peekaboo gamers on Game Pass. They pick up a month here or there when they find something they want, but
yeah, a lot of people do that.
When it comes to games like Call of Duty, the majority of that fan base, like that's one of the major games they play, right? So a lot of the people who play Call of Duty and who are really into Call of Duty, they usually just know life Call of Duty. So if you are that type of person, then you're probably most likely going to buy the game because you're going to be end up spending more. Exactly. You're going to be spending more on the subscription. If you're only playing Call of Duty, you're going to be paying $200 plus for it to play it for the year instead of just paying, 70, 80 or 100 or whatever, which COD version you get.
The only way you wouldn't do that is if you were a lifer Game Pass. Then you would benefit from Call of Duty and Game Pass. Otherwise, you said it.
Yeah, but that still doesn't work, right? Because this is where you got to exit stage left. Because I know you're not a Call of Duty player and you never have
Yeah,
been.
I'm not.
So the way
not.
COD works when you play, because I used to be that guy, and whenever I do play COD, I get the Ultimate Edition. You don't get that on Game Pass. You gotta add that on, and I'm not about to add on something to something I don't own. So
crazy. I had an argument with somebody about that the other day. I will not buy like characters for a fighter I'm playing in a subscription. That don't make no sense.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
you're gonna be buying content for a whole bunch. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, people who play it are gonna go all out. You're gonna have the people that are gonna go in it. But yeah, people were. I'm gonna tell you what. But I knew 100% unequivocally that the people were wrong. That were like, oh, people are gonna flock to Game Pass because Call of Duty's so big. No, the people who are already on Xbox, sure, they're probably gonna play it there. Yeah. And that makes sense, right? If you've already got Game Pass.
They just ain't buying it on Xbox no more, that's all.
Yeah, they're just not buying it, yeah. But I bought it when I wanted to play it. Me and Morgan were playing it on PlayStation. I bought it on PlayStation.
Like, I don't think they really thought it through, because if you really think about it, it makes no logical sense to be like, okay, I always play COD every year, right? Now COD's on Game Pass, and I was playing it on PlayStation. So, but now instead of playing it and spending $70 or whatever on PlayStation, I'm going to then spend $500 on a Series X and then $200 on Game Pass. That way I save $80 to play it on PlayStation. Like, that makes no sense. Like, why would people migrate to a different platform and and if they don't already own that platform? That's the thing, because they were telling people migrating. So
that player base only plays Call of Duty too, and another free-to-play game or something.
I'm buying another console to play a game that's available on my console just so I can save $70-$80. Like, that, exactly. It doesn't make sense, because you're spending
year round. You're paying more for it.
Yeah, you're spending more. It doesn't make sense. But if you already have an Xbox, then I can see the argument. Like, okay, maybe people will just play it on an Xbox now. That makes more sense. But to say like PlayStation players who don't own an Xbox or a PC are all of a sudden, then when they see that COD is available on Game Pass, are now going to go out and buy an Xbox or a PC to play Call of Duty, made no sense. I was like, no, they're not. They're gonna ask, if they find out Xbox owns it, they're gonna be like, oh shit, is it still on PlayStation? And they're gonna be like, yeah. Oh, okay, cool. I'll play it on PlayStation.
I mean, that was your sister's exact reaction. She was like,
oh, okay. I told her, she said, is it still on PlayStation? I said, yeah. She said, oh, okay. And then she went about her day. She didn't care. She was like, all right.
The end of that conversation.
It makes you question, like, because this is a rumor, like, there is nothing concrete from Xbox or
what's a rumor?
Any other that they lose 80% on sales.
No, it is not a rumor.
No,
there are several games we have seen the sales of that degrade differently when they didn't have Game Pass compared to their sales when they do have Game Pass day one.
Yeah, that's been confirmed, Omar. The 80%. Yeah, that's been confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's up to. It's not. It's not 100% of the time that it's 80%, but obviously.
Gotcha. So it can reach up to 80%. Gotcha.
Yes.
So then it makes you genuinely question: is Microsoft paying that amount back to the studio or publisher? Because otherwise, you're gonna lose. You're gonna get less and less IPs. Like, why would I invest in your company if I'm gonna lose literally close to maximum 80% on sales?
I mean, wait. You gotta don't mix up putting your stuff on Xbox versus that. We're talking about games that go into Game Pass. Not just games in general losing 80% of their sales just because they go on Xbox.
I'm talking about games that go into Game Pass.
Yeah, but that's what. So the reason they go in there is because whatever deal they struck with them to go into Game Pass was deemed profitable enough for that specific company, which is why there's less and less of them doing it now.
It makes you question how much they paid. Microsoft paid. Like,
it depends.
It's going to be case by case.
There's games in there unless they own them. So
yeah.
Like, for example, Persona 3. It makes you question how much they paid for it.
I think Persona 3.
They were going to sell 100,000 copies on the Xbox, so probably didn't cost them that much.
games, like as far as their deals with Sega when it comes to like the Yakuza franchise and like Personas. I think for Sega, I think that was probably good because these are only remakes. These aren't new games. These are older titles. So for them to take that Game Pass money was probably good for them. They were probably like, sure, like they didn't care because these are. That's why they didn't. That's why they didn't take a Game Pass deal for Metaphor because that's a new IP.
Exactly.
But they don't have any problem doing that when it comes to like remakes or older games. Like, sure, why not? I mean, we've already released this game.
Service game. Think that dinosaur game for Capcom.
I mean, it's dead already, so.
It's like nobody's really playing it. Not that I know of. So.
Yeah, their reason for that
was a good idea.
If it was popular, then they would recoup a lot of money via microtransactions. But they didn't because the game was trash in the first place. So yeah, that's why they did that. But yeah, the stuff with Sega is like that was a build up, right? Because they were taking it on a whim that Xbox players and were being truthful about from a lot of them, not people like Sonny who actually played the game, but a lot of them were being truthful, saying like with Square and stuff, hey, why don't you gotta let us play some of your games first before we can decide really get on board. You gotta quote unquote build a fan base. So Sega took a deal, made a deal with them, brought a ton of their games, and now it's now it's time to put your money where your mouth is. Like Morgan said, they cut them off cold turkey with Metaphor and in Infinite Wealth. Now Xbox fans have to prove, hey, we gave you a bunch of Yakuza games, we gave you a bunch of Persona games, now you gotta prove
the fan base is built up. Like we gave you the opportunity to get into the
Sega. Didn't sell well, so
I mean we don't have the actual numbers, but obviously we know because we know how the behavior is about purchasing things, but until we get actual numbers, we won't actually know.
Well, they would have screamed it from the top of the roof, but okay.
Yeah, but we can only surmise that. We can't tell people for sure. But only Sega can determine what that number is, right? That they're happy with, right? And obviously the biggest test is yet to come, which will be Persona 6. Because, if you're getting under 5% of overall sales on Xbox, as big as Persona 6 is likely to be, like I think at that point Sega has to look at making a decision about their future titles releasing on Xbox, because that's just way too low, especially for a major franchise release like that. I think they have put their best foot forward for Xbox and the user base, and I'm hoping that Sega just doesn't play it stupid and end up losing money porting it over. Like I said, they seem okay with what they've been doing so far, but I hope they're making a proper financial decision, because I know Sega has definitely not done that in the past.
I've seen people upset about the whole Sega Game Pass or whatever for whatever reason. But I was saying that before we even found out that Metaphor wasn't going to be on Game Pass. I was like, this is them trying to build a fan base, and I was like, I guarantee you, Metaphor is not going to be on Game Pass because it's going to be new. It's new. And, they're building the fan base. They're like, okay, we understand you guys don't really know us. You don't know our games like that. So we're going to give you our games in Game Pass. You can play them. You can see, okay, I like these type of games. So then here's a new IP that uses that formula. And, if you liked the formula, then you can buy the game. And I was like, watch. I was like, watch, Metaphor's not going to be on Game Pass. And then they got announced it's not in Game Pass. And I said, see, it's because they're testing. They're testing to see whether this works, whether this Game Pass experiment works, to see if they play it, they claim to play it. Okay, you liked it, and y'all were hyping up Metaphor, when it got announced and stuff. I hyped it up when it was, Game of the Year nominee. But it's just like, okay, but did the follow through happen? Did people play it? Did people buy it? Like,
nope.
We don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
We do know, because the people that hyping up never touched it.
I mean, we can look at the we can look at the
play it, but
we can look at the percentage, the completion percentage.
I'm talking in control, but okay.
Yeah, we can look at the completion percentage and see how many people really put the stakes down. I mean, that much we can see, because people definitely do try to play coy about completion numbers, but those are hard facts. And we've definitely seen people try to play, stuff like Spider-Man and so on and so forth. But, a game that sold over 10 million copies in, under 3 months and has like an over, like, I think the game completion is like over 60% at this point, which is insane.
Yeah. And people like to, talk crap about PlayStation games, but they tend to have higher percentage completion than the majority of third party and other games. Just like people who buy PlayStation, they tend to beat those games. So that should tell you something, like,
Also, if you buy something, you're gonna try to play it and finish it way more than if you just play it in Game Pass, because you can.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Different game easier.
But it's also, I mean, they also have higher percentage completion ratings than a lot of third party games that you have to buy too. So it's just, I don't know, something about PlayStation games. People just beat them for the majority of them. But yeah, it's the Game Pass. I don't see it going anywhere. Like, I know some people say, "Oh, I think Game Pass is going to be over." Like, no, I think this is just the stake that Xbox is just living on now. That's just what they're going to do. I don't see them trying to get rid of Game Pass or take it away. If anything, they're just going to start once again raising prices. Especially
How do you justify that though?
What do you mean?
They only released one game last year. Like,
Omar, we just went over all the games they released, and you keep saying it's one game.
Yeah, no, I'm talking. Okay, no, they released a few. Okay,
they're releasing more though.
And in 2025, they're supposedly, and like I said, it's not like, of course things can change, but from the trajectory of it, looks like they're gonna have like 8, 9, 10 games this year. So if that happens, and if they do end up releasing all those games, then would you say a price increase isn't justified?
If they're all quality, yeah.
I mean, but quality is subjective, so.
I mean, fair. You love Hellblade 2, I hate it. So that's
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just yeah, because if they do release the games and games they're talking about, like Avowed, then South of Midnight, then Doom, and then maybe who knows if Fable's going to be. I think Fable's not going to be, but if Fable comes out, and then they got Outer Worlds 2, then you got Expedition 33. That's not first party, but it's going to be in Game Pass.
But didn't they just price hike?
Last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
I think the last price hike was 2023, I believe, or was it 2024 or early 2024?
It's been a little while, yeah.
Yeah. So I could see if they release in the cadence they're talking about, I could see them being like, okay, we're increasing the price of Game Pass again. Like, I don't know about how much, but I could see it happening. Because at the end of the day, that's how they're like, that's how all these subscriptions are. Like, I mean, if you have any subscription service, like if you're a Netflix subscriber, this shit. Because Netflix will increase that bitch every year, if not twice a year, on your ass. Like, they just added WWE into Netflix.
I'm paying for wrestling even though I don't watch it.
And so now, exactly, I don't watch WWE, but now my subscription service is going up because they decided to pay $4 or $5 billion to add WWE
buy publishers
to Netflix. Too. Exactly. There you go. They add a big. We're going to call WWE a publisher. They had a big publisher, WWE, into the subscription
you paying
service.
For it, my guy.
And regardless of whether you watch it or not, you're gonna be paying that price increase of $3-4 now. And I'm just like, I wish they would have added it like as a separate, like, if you want WWE, pay for it on this. But I'm sure they know the majority of people don't give a shit, so it wouldn't have been worth the purchase. So Unfortunately, they've integrated it with everyone, and so now it's in my subscription service, even though I'm not even gonna click on it. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that happens. So it is what it is with subscription service. I'm now paying the price of cable, which was kind of supposed to be the point of these sub services, were to get rid of cable, and now I'm paying cable prices.
Football, you need like 5 sub services on the games now. I shit you not.
The NFL Pass, that shit is insanely high. That's like $200,
Prime,
$300.
Paramount, Peacock, Netflix.
Hulu,
I'm fucking missing one.
HBO,
there's another one.
All that shit.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. We'll see how they perform with. I mean, it looks like they got a great year ahead of them as far as things being added. We'll see what else gets added. I'm sure there's plenty of surprises. The year is very
Yeah.
young.
You know, Helldivers 2 is coming. Don't worry. 2025. It's happening.
According to sources, sources.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very generous
Coming,
sources.
It's
But
happening. All right.
yeah, we'll go for our last one. The other one I had, I'm gonna skip it right now because we're already like 2 hours deep, and I gotta go get Chipotle here in a little bit. But obviously the other big thing that happened in January, CES. We had to set aside for Sony specifically, but anything at CES, I don't really know how much you guys watch it. Obviously, I'm the big tech person in here, but PlayStation or Sony had a number of announcements at CES at their 2025. Ghost of Tsushima Legends anime coming to Crunchyroll in 2027. Helldivers feature film, Until Dawn live action film, Horizon Zero Dawn live action film, with an original story, or her origin story. Last of Us location based immersion experience, kind of seems like something for Universal Studios or something. And then of course, they're lining up the release for The Last of Us Season 2, which is going to coincide with the PC release of Last of Us Part 2 on PC. And then obviously the other big thing at CES, the reveal of the next generation graphics cards from Nvidia. AMD decided to hold theirs back and do a separate show. Which I think was smart for obvious reasons, because I definitely think some stuff blindsided them from the Nvidia show. If anybody has seen it, you already know, you've already heard some of the taglines from, the Nvidia show, mainly the star of the show, the 5070 being announced for $549 and them claiming 4090 like performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take that with a massive grain of salt and a whole bunch of caveats.
Are you telling me company lies?
No, it's not technically a lie, because I feel like it'll be upscaled into looking like it's offering 490 services, but the actual raw power of it will not be the raw power of a 490.
Yeah.
It's the frame generation.
Exactly.
Yeah, so with a hope and a prayer and 50 things being lined up correctly, your FPS performance that is AI generated will do something similar. But that's about as close as you're getting. Especially with half the VRAM.
In your opinion, is it worth upgrading for you?
No, not for me. I have a 4090, so no. The card has 4090 like performance, and my card is raw, more powerful. The only
Yeah,
card.
I was like,
yeah.
Why would you trade a 4090 for a 4090 like?
Yeah,
like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's not. It's just not the same.
Man.
I still got the V12 engine.
It's like, here you can have a BMW, or you can downgrade to this this Honda that performs similar, kind of like a BMW.
In certain occasions, when you go through this tunnel.
In certain occasions.
When you go through this tunnel on the way home.
When you get on the highway and it's a straight line,
Yeah.
No.
But you got to get in the supercharged lane so that, it activates the AI upscaling.
Right, not that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right, Sonny. It was a whole ass lie. Because they tried to make it seem like it was just as powerful, period, with no other. They gave no other information. So shout out to all the tech YouTubers who slandered them. Yeah.
You're so quick, and they moved on. All right, and the next card.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, don't believe the hype. A lot of people, like I said, if you've got a 40 series card, you're doing pretty good. Like I said, Priscilla tested the 4080 Super with Black Myth Wukong. They were being really extra at CES, saying like the 5090 got like 28 FPS. Priscilla tested it at 4K, and like the lowest we could push it was like 34, and that was like on settings that you wouldn't even personally run. Like, they were just being really silly at CES with.
Yeah, they were trying to show that the biggest gap in performance, but
yeah.
it was frame generation for most of it. It's like it wasn't like raw power.
Yeah.
It was just with the frame gen on, you get 200 plus frames.
Yeah,
Like, all
it
right.
was really silly. But yeah, like I said, if you're on the 30 series or lower, yeah, I mean these are looking really good. I mean, if I was on the 30 series, I'd probably be looking at the 5070. I think it's a great upgrade from there. Uh, as long as you're not 4K gaming, if you're 4K gaming, I'd probably be looking at the 5080 because of VRAM availability. Uh, still not the best, but at least you get 16. And the price isn't crazy. The 5090 obviously being the big craziness in the room at $2,000. They really kind of push that out of the general price range for a ton of people. And honestly, I don't think there's a lot of real caveats with that. Like I said, I don't want to bore everybody with the technical aspects, but everything that glitters ain't gold. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, for the most part, if you got a 40 series and you're happy with it, that's not going to change in the next 2 to 3 years, and that's about the time frame for new graphics cards. So yeah, when the 6000 series comes out, holla at me. Um, but yeah, I don't think there's a ton of other stuff they showed off: the AIB cards, the aftermarket cards, a ton of new monitors were shown off. 32-inch displays were hot apparently this year. QD OLEDs. Basically, the biggest thing I'll take away from that, I'll tell you if you guys didn't really watch a lot of the coverage, is that OLED is becoming a lot more affordable.
Love it.
Yeah, they're becoming a lot more affordable, especially in monitors. Monitors are gaining HDMI 2.1 as well as DisplayPort 2.1, and they're all really capable of actual HDR now, like TVs are. They had for a while what people called fake HDR, because they didn't actually get the proper peak brightness to accommodate HDR. So a lot of that is changing. So now monitors that used to come out at like 1600 and stuff, Dell's new 4K 240 hertz monitor is $800 starting, which is what the monitor that I have right now was when it was on sale, because it used to be like 12 to 13 or 1400, and I have an OLED monitor. So like I said, the biggest takeaway from here from a consumer standpoint at the Consumer Electronics Show is that the tech is doing what it's supposed to do for once. And like I said, it's getting cheaper, it's getting more affordable. So a lot of people, behind in tech, if you haven't got that new TV or you haven't got that new monitor, things are becoming a lot more affordable. So you can look forward to hopefully that upgrade that you want without having to break the bank. I don't know if I'll go to you guys quickly to see if there was anything that interested you guys from either the PlayStation announcements or anything that I said that you were interested in. And then we'll get ready to get out of here. Weeb, I'm gonna go to you first because I know you've fallen asleep. Was there anything from Sony's CES with all their shows and anime and all the things they talked about, or anything from the show that interested you in general that I didn't talk about from CES?
I mean, you covered everything, I think.
I tried, man. I tried to speed run it,
Yeah.
What are you the most excited about for you, Weeb? What are you the most excited about? Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima Legend, anime, Helldivers 2 movie? What are you most excited about from what they announced at CES?
To be honest, nothing in particular really, because I
thought you would
that
jump
is fair.
on Horizon. Interesting.
So nobody care about that shit, Omar.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I already seen the story, so
Yeah, but
the thing is with game adaptations is like, yeah, it's cool if it's if it's something, if it's a classic,
if it's done well, yeah.
I mean, they're sort of going, they're trying to see what sticks, right? They're adapting everything.
They definitely are.
And I know, sure, we have had great game adaptations, Arcane, Cyberpunk, it can work, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if I should be excited for everything they're gonna try. Like, I think it's like the experience, that I've had, that's my version, that's my canon version of that IP. Like, I don't necessarily need another adaptation of that. I'm getting like Persona 5 anime vibes here, where I'm like, yeah, cool, but like,
But it's just a rehash of the game.
exactly,
Yeah, I get
exactly.
that.
Like, and the thing is, there are, if we're talking about anime, there are absolutely great anime adaptations of games. Like, if you've never watched the Gungrave anime, I highly recommend it, because it's literally better than the game, because the game is has shitty gameplay, but the story is great, and actually made better by the anime, because they spend a lot of time on the most interesting part of the story, which is sort of a mob story, but in a uh, barely sci-fi setting. Like, the actual core of the game, where it goes full sci-fi, is like not that interesting compared to the setup. And that setup, that's the main focus of the anime. That's an interesting adaptation you could do. Like, Horizon could be interesting if they, instead of adapting the same story, if they had a story about, like, okay, now we're gonna get to see, actually what happened, in the
Yes.
past. Like,
Yes.
yeah, that could be an interesting take on it. That would add to it. That would be, because they're probably never gonna explore
Mm-hmm.
that in the game. So that's something that could work. But like, just having basically non-interactive version of the story, yeah, I don't know if that's going to be
100%.
very interesting to me.
100%.
Like, yeah, I mean, I mean, of the, like, the list that they've shown, like, none of
Yeah.
them are very interesting to me. Like, yeah, God of War would have been way more interesting to me to see some things like God of War. You had, I could probably do. I could give you like 10 ideas of what you could do, without, making a direct sequel, without just doing the same thing. Like, there's so many gaps in that story that you could just focus, we're talking about Warhammer. Like, that 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 episode wasn't, just adapting the latest game, right? That was an interesting, sort of very stylized, in a sense, bit, that was really cool.
It was.
And that expands, on upon, the existing IP, upon the universe, without being rehashing it, without, being filler material. That's how you could do it. Like, and that's probably better off in the hands of the sort of anthology series, even though they kind of mucked up the Sony specific parts. But that's a different
The
story.
Sony one was just like one giant ad. I was weak.
Yeah, like 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 f- fuck you, Sony. Like, they were saying, yeah, you can use our IP, but it has to be an ad.
It reminds me of those holiday PlayStation commercials where it's got the cameos of all the characters. Like,
Mhm.
it literally looked like that, where like the person has a PlayStation controller and they're like, Kratos kind of barges into the room, and then they're thrown in with Nathan Drake, and then all of a sudden, like those holiday PlayStation commercials. That's what it reminded me. I was like, they really just did that. It like
Yep.
a show. I was just like, okay. I was like, the Concord one was better than that. And that's sad because I like the
Con
Concord
who?
episode. The bro.
Con who? What?
Who? Huh?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Exactly.
I,
Oh man.
my pony contract prohibits me from mentioning
Yo,
that
not the
game that doesn't
pony
exist.
contract. Yo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hit him with that Men in Black light. Like, I don't remember anything. It's
Oh
gone.
man.
A memory
yeah, yeah.
erased.
We're not supposed to talk about it. It's illegal.
You're right. I forgot. You're right.
That's
Oh
that's
man.
a different timeline.
A different
Oh
timeline.
man.
Yo, chill. I'm dead.
Yes, dude.
Okay, so Morgan, you're already going back and forth with Leave on the vibe. So, anything for you that you were interested in?
I do like the idea of a Ghost of Legends anime.
Okay.
And I think it's the thing people keep forgetting, that it's specifically they said Legends. So I don't know if Jin is necessarily going to be in this anime.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because
Legends, you might be able to do an episode or two of different people every time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's like I think it's going to be more of like what it was in Legends, about like the different samurai legends, obviously. But I like the
Every
idea.
season might feature someone new.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea that of it though, of it being Legends, because you get that versatility. And I do like the fact that the person who directed the Star Wars Visions episode, the Samurai. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that episode, but that episode was my favorite in the Visions. It was fire. It was like essentially Star Wars if they were samurai, and it was so freaking good. The animation was amazing. The fight sequences was amazing. It was just, everything was peak. If you haven't seen it, go to Disney Plus, watch it. It was amazing. And I was so excited when they said that he was going to be the one directing. I said, oh hell yeah, it's about to be fire. So that has me excited. The Helldivers movie is kind of funny. I'm like, is it just gonna be what's that movie? The movie that it's based on, essentially.
Starship Troopers.
Yes, thank you. Starship Troopers. I was like, so it's just gonna be like a Starship Troopers movie. I mean, I'm sure it will be hilarious.
That too.
Exactly. So I'm sure it'll be hilarious. Either way. So I'm ready to see someone randomly die and it be funny, like just soldiers dying all around you, making, telling them, tell my wife, and then all of a sudden, bam, dead. It's just like, I'm sure it'll be good, and I'm excited to see what that's going to be about. Just because, one, the premise of a movie like that sounds great, but two, I really want Helldivers to stick around and grow. Obviously, it's one of PlayStation's biggest IPs now, one of their fastest selling IPs, essentially. But I wanted to stick around for the long haul. So yeah, if they want to expand the universe into moviedom, by all means, grab some more fans to come and play. The Horizon movie, I'm just like, yo.
Yeah, the rest of that stuff.
Herman got a real. I'm not going to use the term, but he really got something for Horizon. I'm just like, bro, the way PlayStation is shoving this IP in there's a point when you just like, please stop.
I mean, it's his baby, so
the movie is not new.
No, because no. The thing we knew about was the Amazon series, and I think that got canceled or something. So this is different.
Canceled.
That was gonna work in the first place. You'd have to make like the movie probably into a trilogy, because that would cost so much damn money for a show for it to be any good.
Exactly. The movie announcement is new, so we didn't know about that because it was going to be a series on Amazon.
Okay, never mind, then it was a series.
Yes, and then they switched it to a movie because they just refused to let it die. And it's just like, I love Horizon, but my God, PlayStation, y'all have other IPs. Like, this is why people feel some type of way about Horizon, because it just feels like PlayStation just does just too damn much with the IP.
No,
just like
haters. No. They're absolutely haters.
Listen, there are people who hate it, and then there's people who are just like, my God, there's another Horizon. It's just, I just wish PlayStation would just like, and I think it's just because Herman's in charge now, and it was his baby and from Gorilla, so he just props it up so damn much. And I get it. I love Horizon. Okay, this is not me hating on Horizon. I do love it, but there's a point when you're just like, damn, y'all milk the fuck out this damn IP. Like, please, like, if you want people to be excited about Horizon 3, you got to stop with all the Horizon products, because it's just gonna get old, and people is just gonna be like, oh God, another Horizon. Like. It's just a point where you just gotta give people a break, so that you gotta give people distance, right? It's just like, distance makes the heart grow fonder. But if you are consistently dropping things like Horizon Lego, Horizon multiplayer, Horizon movie, oh, here's Horizon 3, people be like, oh my God, bro. Like, we get it, Horizon. But it's just, I'm just like, that's why I just kind of just like, ugh, with that announcement of Horizon 3 now. But if they do it like we've said, where if it's like a prequel where we kind of get the background of what the like, I mean, obviously we know what happened because, you know, we saw what happened at the end of the first game, right? What led to the world essentially ending. But if we get that in a movie form, then I'll take that.
That would be big.
Yeah.
But then Aloy would not be the main character, and
I don't give a shit, and I don't care. I don't care.
I know you don't, but PlayStation do. So it's gonna be interesting.
I mean, they do and they don't,
because it sets up for the game, and it gives people an excuse who liked the movie.
I mean,
to see what else
happened.
In
the movie with all of a sudden the little clone baby Aloy coming out the mountain.
Exactly.
Like you know what I'm saying, setting it up. Like, but I that's the only way I would give a damn about this movie.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, that's the only way. Because if we see Horizon again in the same fucking format, we saw it in Lego format, we seen it in its original format. Now, if we see it in movie format, I'm gonna put my fucking hair out. Because how many different formats are you gonna tell the same damn story? Like, we need to get something different. I don't want to see Horizon 1 on the screen. I'm sorry, I don't. Like, at all. Like, it for what? I've seen this story told 16 million times. We done got a remaster of it. Like, I don't need to see anymore. Okay?
Agreed.
Do something different. It's just, and that's where it just starts to get a sour taste in people's mouth, because it's just like, God damn, another Horizon. Like, here we go. So that will be the. Go ahead.
So, well, I agree with you that there are too much. It's just also a matter of what do you choose to invest yourself in. Like, for example, me, I never touched the remake. I'm not gonna touch the remake. So,
but that's not my point, though. My point is they could have chosen another IP. Like, why choose Horizon again?
Yeah, there's a reason why you change up the story, or have a prequel or a bunch of other stuff, because you don't want to tell the same story. Because like Weeb said, it was the same thing with Persona. Like, when I played Persona 5 and then I went to go check out the anime and realized it was literally just a retelling. Terrible. Well, it's just a retelling. Yeah. So why would I watch something retold that I played the better version of already? That's more fleshed out, that has more context, and is better. Like,
because imagine the movie just being a condensed Horizon. It don't even give you all the context that Horizon 1 did, and so it's just a watered down version of the game. Yeah. That's not going to win anybody over. It's not. It's just going to sour people. It's not going to do anything. So hopefully it's like what Weeb said. It's a prequel setting up to the Horizon universe, because that's the only thing that's
a story left to tell.
Exactly. That's story left to tell. And that's something that you can do to get not only the fans of Horizon into, but you can get people who aren't fans and get them the context of what's going on. So that's the only way that I would find this remotely interesting. Or if, like, we're just in the Horizon universe and it's not about Aloy. Because if this story is about Aloy again, I'm not going to give a damn. Like, if you want to be in the current Horizon universe and make somebody else the protagonist in their story or something going on they're doing, okay, maybe if it's interesting enough. But if it's just another Aloy retelling, that sounds boring as hell to me. Why? I could play the better version and get a better context, like they were just saying, out the game, than I could in watching a 1 hour and 30-minute condensed ass story of it. Like, I don't want that.
Did you feel a question, and this is generally not a gotcha question?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm curious. Did you watch the Uncharted movie?
Yes.
Did you feel that same type of way, or what?
But the Uncharted movie was not a one-to-one.
It's not one-to-one
of Uncharted. Gotcha. It's like a retold version of different Uncharted, which made it good because it wasn't like Uncharted 1 the movie.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't. It was like a retelling of it. So that's what made it interesting. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just do it, because if you do it one for one, if it's just Horizon 1 the movie, I'm not gonna like it.
So you want to be something fresh and new. I understand. I'm not disagreeing with you on that front.
Okay.
There's so many stories you can tell. You don't even have to tell the story about the distant past, or the present day. And you can just tell the story of Ross, for example.
See, that's what I say. Yeah, see, exactly. That's why I was saying if there's somebody different protagonist, then that's fine. Yeah. But I don't want to see Aloy on that screen, bro. I don't.
Yeah. Oh.
No, I get it. Yeah. Omar, real quick, is there something else quickly, please, that you were interested in if we haven't gone over it already?
Yeah, so that for me would be, well, it's not something else, but it's what I'm most excited about. Besides, Horizon, which is Ghost of Tsushima Legend. I put close to 300 something hours in Legend alone, so I'm pumped
Okay.
about Legend. Cause
And
I know for a fact the anime is gonna have magic, and I already watched an anime that covers this story, literally, Ghost of Tsushima, but with a different protagonist and stuff like that. And that story had magic, so I'm absolutely curious how they're gonna implement that. Cause this can be so big if they do it right. I just can't wait. I love anime,
The only thing
so
that sucks is that they announced Legends was going to be 2027. I was like,
yeah,
damn.
what?
that's
What did you
way out
say?
there.
The only thing that sucked was that they announced that it's not releasing until 2027.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
assuming the
we should.
studio they have working on it is working on something else currently.
Yeah.
Do you know which studio it is?
Or
I,
it's just,
I don't.
typical anime where it takes years.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
does. So, I'm good. They gotta go with a good studio, though.
I mean,
They
they have
can't.
now Sony owns a lot of anime studios now, right? And
I
then they're
mean, they
partnered
can
with
pick, choose, and refuse. So
and where they're partnered with the Katakawa now as well. So it's like they have a plethora of great studios to choose from when it comes to who I'm sure
Well,
they're gonna make sure to pick the best for Ghost.
for
exactly.
this, they need something recognizable, like think Ufotable, think Mappa, think something like that. You can't go with a new studio or stuff like that. Like you
I
gotta
don't. I don't think it's gonna be a new studio, but
give it justice. Hey, we're gonna
yeah.
see.
Yep. But yeah, with that, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to get up out of here. We are not doing the intros right now,
Give me
or the
outros.
outros rather. Everybody knows where to find everybody at this point.
Yeah.
The names are at the bottom of the screen. If you want to follow anybody on Twitter, some of us are at Blue Sky, like me, Karaba, and Weeb. But again, thank you everybody who joined us, who came through the chat. Glad my boy Sonny had the day off so he could finally be in the chat live and direct. Shout out to everybody else who came through. I try to always remember everybody at the end, but it was quite a few people again that came through. I think I saw Fresh pop up, Will popped up, Warwana, Hero, um, a couple other people. Like I said, I don't want to forget people. Um, but yeah, anybody else who came through, they said appreciate everybody coming through, chatting with us, talking gaming. But without any further ado, we're gonna get ready to head up out of here. Shout out to Kay, working hard in them streets. We're gonna catch up with that girl soon. But with that, we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
Otter Nation.
Other nation.
Notre Dame.